glanced at Luhan, suddenly stepped forward and hugged Luhan's waist, burying his head in a low voice. It's good that you are back. Half a kilometer to the south, Hyuga Luo Ning, A Li, and the Sword and Shield duo were all gathered there. When Susanoo smashed the ground, they quickly ducked away without being affected. That's Susanoo. Xiao Ali was still full of amazement, obviously not free from the shock when Susanoo appeared just now. Cold, Hyuga Luo Ning muttered. If it was said that there was some illusory reality when I met Luhan before, then now, it is completely true, then Susanoo is a kind of proof. Someone's here. Ali suddenly turned around and looked at the forest behind him vigilantly. With the rustling sound, 5 or 6 Konoha Anbu ninjas stepped on the tree branches, jumping and approaching quickly. They should have passed by here and heard the battle, so they rushed over to take a look. Although the battle has been fought for a long time and is extremely fierce, it cannot be said that they are slow, because it is 80 kilometers away from Ludu village, which is too far. If it is not a coincidence, the Konoha ninja of Ludu village or not might be aware of the situation here. 6 Anbu ninjas walked through the jungle and finally saw a figure, 4 people, a woman, a child, a masked swordsman, and an extremely majestic suspected non-human. They were all stunned for a moment, then jumped off the tree and knelt on one knee at the same time. I have seen Lord Luo Ning. They naturally know Hyuga Luo Ning, and their current mission is related to finding Hyuga Luo Ning and Tsunade. Hyuga Luo Ning used to be an Anbu ninja. She quit after marrying Luhan. She was naturally familiar with Anbu ninja. She looked back, frowned slightly, and then said to the person in the lead, Mitsui. Anbu's code name is Mitsui. It was Anbu ninja more than 10 years ago, and now he is a senior in Anbu. It's me, Lord Luo Ning. Mitsui raised his head and said, and immediately brought people closer, and quickly asked, Lord Luo Ning, I don't know Lord Tsunade. Ah, Mitsui's voice stopped abruptly, because he didn't pay attention until now. To the direction that Hyuga Luo Ning and the others were heading north, how badly the forest was destroyed. The damage caused by purely physical attacks is simply incredible. Vaguely, it can be seen that there are 2 figures in the far position on the land that has been completely reduced to ruins. One of them, it seems, is Tsunade. Luhan and Tsunade stood on the soil slope above the ruins, all turned around and looked in the direction of Hyuga Luo Ning and others. It's the Konoha Anbu ninja, Luhan said. When Luhan was still smashing the ground, they had already entered the detection range of the insight map. Because they were orange names, Luhan could only see them with his eyes when they got close. Identity information. Come on, let's go over. You haven't recognized your son yet. Tsunade said, showing a particularly proud smile. Wait for me to think about it. Luhan said. Ah, Tsunade was taken aback, then glanced at Luhan. What are you thinking about? The question of my identity. Luhan frowned tightly. Now that Black Zetsu already knows my identity, he will tell Uchiha Madara, so there is no need for us to hide it, but Sarutobi Hiruzen has been working with Uchiha Madara for so many years. So, what did you say? Tsunade exclaimed, in disbelief, the staring boss. It's true, Luhan continued, although I haven't been resurrected for a month, I have already learned a lot. Sarutobi Hiruzen has frequently met with White Zetsu over the years, and White Zetsu has provided him with war information, and even this ninja world war has they started it together, and behind White Zetsu is Uchiha Madara. I guess it is impossible for Uchiha Madara to meet Sarutobi Hiruzen in person, but their cooperation does exist, and Konoha executives all know about it. Jiraiya, Orochimaru, they all know. How could this happen? Why is this happening again? He clearly knew who killed you. But why? Tsunade's face changed continuously, frowning and murmuring. It's Sarutobi Hiruzen again, doing heart-wrenching things time and time again. Now, Sarutobi Hiruzen is Hokage, holding Konoha tightly in his hand, and I can't be sure whether he is an enemy or a friend. Luhan frowned. However, the last time I killed White Zetsu, it should have been make Uchiha Madara suspicious of Sarutobi Hiruzen, this time he let Black Zetsu participate in the pursuit of you. He should also have revenge in it. He may have broken with Sarutobi Hiruzen, however. There is no eternal enemy. Only forever. Uchiha Madara planned the attack on Konoha back then, and Sarutobi Hiruzen can still cooperate with him, it can be seen. Luhan shook his head. He is thinking about what time and what way to expose his identity is the most appropriate, in order to have the greatest interests, and he has to prevent being hacked by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Chapter 0937_help me. Luhan pondered for a long time, looking at Hyuga Luo Ning, Ali, and several Anbu ninjas over there. His eyes kept changing. Speaking of which, he is the hero of Konoha, and has been deified, known as the greatest ninja since the founding of Konoha. However, all this is false, and it may be very difficult to convert a person's dead reputation into actual power. Easy, it can be difficult. Whether it is easy or difficult is up to one person to decide. That is Sarutobi Hiruzen. As Orochimaru once said, Sarutobi Hiruzen has been in charge of Konoha for decades, and Konoha is already an iron plate in his hands, unbreakable. Moreover, Sarutobi Hiruzen is unshakable in righteousness. He's hypocritical, he's cruel, he's virtuous by any means, but he's all for Konoha. From this point of view, Luhan couldn't attack him either. If Luhan shows up and Sarutobi Hiruzen denies it, saying it's fake, then he has the ability to mobilize the entire Konoha against Luhan. Just don't admit that he is really cold. Make up stories about why he has the power of cold light, and so on. Originally, Luhan couldn't explain the resurrection. We don't have to go back. Tsunade said. He could see Luhan's worries, because Luhan just made it clear that Sarutobi Hiruzen and Uchiha Madara cooperated. Conversely, Uchiha Madara is the enemy, then Sarutobi Hiruzen. Konoha is suddenly insecure. I don't want to start a war against Sarutobi Hiruzen, Luhan said thoughtlessly. He has the ability to wage war on Sarutobi Hiruzen. He can muddy the water first, but he can win over some people in Konoha, such as Orochimaru, Uchiha clan. He can even unite with Xiao Ai, who is already the fourth generation of Raikage, to form pressure on Sarutobi Hiruzen both internally and externally, thus causing Konoha to split, and then civil war. With Luhan's strength, if he really gets to this point, as long as he kills Sarutobi Hiruzen, everything will be no problem. However, it's not worth the loss. Uchiha Madara was still hiding in the dark, looking at everything with gloomy eyes. Luhan didn't want to give Uchiha Madara a chance, and Sarutobi Hiruzen, this guy died very early in the original story. Even if Luhan didn't move him, let it develop naturally, Orochimaru will kill him. From the perspective of subverting the world, Sarutobi Hiruzen is just a small role, and he has no role at all. Thinking of this, Luhan couldn't help but glance at Tsunade. Tsunade is very affectionate to Sarutobi Hiruzen. In the original book, even the completely blackened Orochimaru shed tears when he attacked Konoha and killed Sarutobi Hiruzen. It is conceivable how contradictory Orochimaru was at that time, even the cold Orochimaru, not to mention the emotional Tsunade. Wait for now, Sarutobi Hiruzen, I hope you don't provoke me, wait until I kill Uchiha Madara, will. Luhan whispered in his heart, he made a decision. Archenemy Uchiha Madara. Kill him first, can't let him explain everything smoothly and die with peace of mind. You go. Luhan tilted his head to Tsunade and explained in a low voice. Tsunade nodded and said nothing, while Luhan disappeared. Tsunade quickly ran towards Hyuga Luo Ning and the others, jumped for the last time, and got to them. Hyuga Luo Ning just said. It's alright, let's go back. Tsunade quickly interrupted Hyuga Luo Ning's words and gave Luhan a wink. Hyuga Luo Ning was stunned for a moment, then shut up knowingly. The two have lived together for many years and are very tacit. Seeing her mother's appearance, Xiao Ali seemed to understand something, but obediently didn't say anything. Lord Tsunade, that was. Mitsui couldn't help but asked, and glanced in that direction. Tsunade glanced at him and looked at him without speaking. Mitsui lowered his head wisely, not daring to meet Tsunade's eyes. Well, don't ask if you shouldn't. Tsunade and the three of them followed Anbu's many ninjas to Ludu village, while the faceless man and the barbarian shield soldiers stayed where they were, motionless. Before Mitsui left, he looked back at the faceless man in confusion, but didn't say anything. Shortly after they left, Luhan appeared in front of the sword and shield duo, looked at the insight map, and looked at the direction where they were leaving, and finally put away the two puppets. Meow. The shadow cat appeared out of thin air on Luhan's head and shook its tail. Luhan raised his hand and touched it, and instructed, "Look for the body of that white guy, let's find it together, hurry up." Meow. Shadow cat responded. It began to flicker and disappear frequently on the ruined battlefield, as did Luhan. Kill White Zetsu again. The body also contains a lot of Senju cells, which must be collected and not wasted. ... After half a day, underground. Black Zetsu can't remember how long he has used the mayfly technique, and he doesn't know how far he has escaped. He is about to run out of fuel. The injuries on his body and the chakra that is about to run out make him closer to death. The closer. But he still didn't stop because he could feel that he was very close to Uchiha Madara. He dare not stop. Because he is afraid that he will lose consciousness in the wild. In that case, he is likely to fall asleep. Without the help of Uchiha Madara, he does not know how long he will fall asleep before he wakes up, and it will delay his plan to resurrect Mother. This is the key. His assistants, Uchiha Madara, who is already on the verge of death, would not be able to arrange everything at all. Black Zetsu has spent decades in the plan to revive the Mother, and once he falls asleep in the wild, this plan may fail. He doesn't want to. Never fail. After an unknown period of time, light suddenly appeared in front of Black Zetsu, who was walking through underground cave. The light of the torches gathered in the area in the middle of the cave, where there were two people, the old Uchiha Madara, and Uchiha Obito. They were playing chess. Uchiha Madara looked in a good mood, instead Uchiha Obito, somewhat lifeless. Black Zetsu suddenly appeared from the side of the cave by the pool of water against the stone wall. Uchiha Madara felt it, just dropped the chess piece in his hand, and then frowned suddenly got up and turned around and asked, "What's wrong with you?" He felt that Black Zetsu at this moment, the breath of life was extremely weak. "Save me." Black Zetsu made a weak voice and fell down beside the pool. Chapter 0938_Persuade. Uchiha Madara's face changed dramatically. Her face was incredible. How could it be possible? What happened to Black Zetsu to become like this? Working in secret for decades, it can be said that Black Zetsu has seen and experienced everything, but it has never happened. Without thinking about it, the old Madara ghost appeared beside Black Zetsu, lifted Black Zetsu, and light burst out from his hand. The power of yin and yang escape. Black Zetsu's body. The result made Uchiha Madara even more shocked, because Black Zetsu's body was about to spread and was extremely unstable. The reason for using the word spread is because Black Zetsu is essentially a conscious body. Once he spreads, the two is a result, sleep or die. "What's wrong with him?" Uchiha Obito asked, walking behind Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara did not speak. With a gloomy face, turned and disappeared with the unconscious Black Zetsu. He was going to the place where Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, was placed, using the power of yin and yang to escape, and inside Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, life force, save Black Zetsu. Obito watched Madara disappear, blinked one eye, returned to the square table without saying a word, knelt down, and began to set the chessboard by himself. He didn't know why he was still alive. Become such a person that he is not a ghost or a ghost, and he needs to receive treatment every day. He has heard Madara talk about the Eye of the Moon project, but he doesn't take it seriously. He still has a few thoughts about the old ancestor of Uchiha Madara. He was distracted, but in fact, at the moment, his heart was more at a loss, so he didn't care much about things that had nothing to do with him. At dusk, Yuhi Kasumi hangs in the sky like a blood-colored curtain. This time in the noisy Ludu village is also the most lively moment. The business of the restaurant and tea house is booming. The news that there was a ninja battle dozens of kilometers away has spread in Ludu village and has become the focus of discussion. The battlefield is there, and anyone who passes by will see it. Rich area, independent mansion. The entire Ludu village is Konoha's property. This mansion was not sold before because of its high price. After Tsunade and others arrived here, they moved in directly. Konoha Anbu originally wanted to invite Tsunade to live in the ninja residential area, of course. Rejected by Tsunade, Tsunade also expressed that he didn't want anyone to disturb him and didn't need Anbu's secret protection. Her words, of course, are useful. Even if she has left Konoha, is not a Konoha ninja, and broke up with Sarutobi Hiruzen, Anbu will respect her respectfully, because she is a medical saint, the wife of the legendary ninja Han Guang, not to mention that she also has Han Guang's only son. Speaking of which, the conflict between Tsunade and Sarutobi Hiruzen, for the following ninjas, it was a fight between gods, and they just watched the fun, gossip, and other things. It should be respectful or respectful, and protection should be protected. Decorate the luxurious wooden building, lobby. Because it was very dark outside, all the candlesticks in the lobby were lit. The pale-faced Hyuga Luo Ning was serving the guests as the host, and the guest was the first team captain of Anbu, Hyuga Bonin, who was also injured. After escaping 2.5 days ago, Bonin Hyuga rushed back to Ludu village. At present, because Anbu captain Hitaki Taishuo is not here, and Orochimaru, the supreme commander who was temporarily appointed by Sarutobi Hiruzen, is not here, so the current ruler of Ludu village is Hyuga Bonin. You really don't need it. You are very poisoned, if you delay it any longer. Hyuga Bonin sent an invitation again. He hoped that Hyuga Luo Ning could return to Konoha for treatment. No, it's safe here. My sister will cure me, thank you Uncle Bonin. Hyuga Luo Ning said with a smile. She and Hyuga Bonin are not only of the same clan, but also very close in blood. People are the same ancestor. Therefore, Hyuga Luo Ning respects Hyuga Bonin very much. This is the elder. I'm not worried about Tsunade-sama's ability, but just go back to Konoha, it's still not safe outside. Hyuga Bonin persuaded again. Hyuga Luo Ning shook her head gently and said again, listen to my sister. Bonin Hyuga glanced in the direction of the kitchen. Tsunade didn't receive him and kept busy in the kitchen. Xiao Ali is also in the hall, sitting at a round table not far away, staring at the shadow cat crawling on the table with big eyes. After all, he is a child, and he still likes furry cute things. Hyuga Bonin retracted his gaze and sighed. In fact, the real purpose of his coming here today is to persuade Tsunade and Hyuga to return to Konoha. This involves a secret mission. In Sarutobi Hiruzen's original plan, he sent elites to rescue Tsunade, and then asked Tsunade to return to Konoha to borrow money from her. Now, Tsunade was not saved by Konoha. According to reports from Mitsui and others, Bonin Hyuga knew that Tsunade was rescued by a mysterious ninja with terrifying strength. And no matter who that person is, what matters is that Tsunade wasn't saved by Konoha, so it's not good to borrow money. Is that a Lee? Well, I'm 9 years old this year. Looks like Tsunade-sama. Yeah, but my sister still wants him to be more like his father, but boys are always like mothers. When Ali heard the two talking about him, he tilted his head and gave them a childish smile, and then started to tease the cat again. Hyuga Bonin has seen the shadow cat, but he is not surprised, because Orochimaru also came to the country of Vortex to find Tsunade, and his ninja cat found Tsunade in advance, which is normal. After a few gossip with Hyuga Luo Ning, Hyuga Bonin got up and said goodbye. Hyuga Luo Ning did not intend to leave him to eat together, which disappointed him. He just wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to eat together to talk to Tsunade, but he didn't have a chance. Hyuga Luo Ning got up and went to the kitchen. Ali was still teasing the shadow cat, scratching its tail. The shadow cat finally couldn't take it anymore, jumped on Ali's head, and started scratching his hair, and quickly grabbed Ali's hair into a chicken coop. Ali also smiled, as if he found it very interesting. The shadow cat suddenly stopped moving, looking frightened, tilted his head to look at the figure suddenly appearing behind. Lu Ling looked at the shadow cat. The shadow cat lowered his eyebrows to pleasing to the eye. Ali felt unusual, looked back, and then stood up suddenly, becoming very restrained, and lowered his head. Dad, Dad. Chapter 0939_say it again, who? A very unfamiliar name, Xiao Ali called very unnaturally, and before Lu Han came back and showed up, Tsunade and Hyuga Luoning had already educated Xiao Ali and told him, if it wasn't like this, he might not be able to can export the name, Dad. In Chen, his father, Han Guang, is an unparalleled existence and a legendary hero. Although he hadn't seen it before, he had been fascinated by his eyes and ears since he was a child. He had heard his mother tell his father's story, and he had seen other people's expressions when they mentioned the cold light. Ali is very proud to have such a father. However, because of such emotional thoughts, when Lu Han appeared in front of him alive, he was a little afraid to recognize it, not to mention that he had some misunderstanding with Lu Han before, and some ridiculous things happened. Xiao Ali stood at the table with his head down, looking uneasy. The shadow cat was still standing on top of his head, brushing his hair. He looked very careful and paid attention to Lu Han's eyes. Don't call me big brother. Lu Han approached and smiled. Then, Ali's face suddenly turned to Yuhi. He didn't know what to say, he was very embarrassed. Tsunade heard movement in the hall and stuck his head out of the kitchen to watch. Remember, I said, you will be beaten. Lu Han said again. Then, can I fight back? Ali raised his head and asked, looking like he was seriously thinking about getting beaten up. No, Lu Han replied. Oh, Ali lowered his head again. When I beat my son, generally speaking, I don't consider whether my son has human rights or not, especially when my son is still young. If he resists, he will run away and hide. He really dares to turn his back on his father. The end will be miserable. Of course, Lu Han wouldn't beat a child for no reason. Ali was indeed wrong. Lu Han suddenly raised his hand and patted Ali's shoulder. Ali shook for a while, bowed his head and looked resigned. Can he fight back? Cannot. Can you run? Definitely can't run away. What else can I do? Accept your fate and wait to be beaten. Okay, you're all scared by you. Tsunade, who had been looking at the situation, couldn't help but gave Lu Han an angry look. Ali is still young. Lu Han glanced back at Tsunade, then glanced at Ali out of the corner of his eye, pointed at Ali, and put on an expression of, I'll take care of you later, and then walked to the side of the stairs, at the same time shouting loudly. Said, Luoning, follow me upstairs, I'll see your injury. Come on. Hyuga Luoning in the kitchen responded, and hurriedly came out with a plate containing sushi, put the plate in Tsunade's hand, and went upstairs with Lu Han. It was not until the figures of Lu Han and Hyuga Luoning disappeared above the stairs that Ali showed a relieved expression. Late at night, somewhere in the ninja world, underground. Cave is huge, the shadow of Gedo Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, is drawn obliquely under the light of the torches. Most of the cave is in darkness, only a small area. You can see the stone platform, can see the figure. After a series of rescues by Uchiha Madara, Black Zetsu finally regained consciousness. Yin and Yang done plus Gedo Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, plus Senju Hashirama cells, the three combined into one, have the power to heal almost everything. Therefore, Black Zetsu woke up, and his body the injury is not a big problem. Uchiha Madara looked very tired, and the side face under the dim light was full of gloomy colors. Black Zetsu sat up from the stone platform, still looking weak. What happened? Who hurt you? Uchiha Madara asked hoarsely. Black Zetsu looked at Madara, paused before spit out the name, Cold Light. For a moment, the air seemed to freeze. Uchiha Madara's expression froze, as if he had been immobilized. He looked at Black Zetsu, and gradually revealed an incredible expression. His expression gradually twisted strangely, the corners of his mouth quivered, and it took a while before he made a sound, and said in surprise, "You say it again." "Who?" "Hanguu." Black Zetsu's voice was heavy. "It's him. The Hanuong who died 10 years ago. He's back. I don't know why he came back, whether it was his resurrection or his special state when he died. But I can sure, it's him. It's him." Cold light. Uchiha Madara's voice became very sharp, and then lowered his voice again, saying, "Cold light. Cold light. It is very likely that he has mastered the mystery of life and death. He can be resurrected." Black Zetsu made the boldest guess. Han Guang. Alive. He. Alive. Uchiha Madara turned around slowly, paced slowly, walked back and forth, chanting words in his mouth. Black Zetsu's injury suddenly didn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter what happened before. When Uchiha Madara heard the name Han Guang, he didn't react, but now that he reacted, there was only one thought left in his heart. How did he live? For Uchiha Madara, who survived until today by relying on Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, how Han Guang survived is the most important thing. The meaning of life and death. Uchiha Madara has no doubts about Black Zetsu's judgment on death. After Han Guang died 10 years ago, Black Zetsu went to confirm Han Guang's body and confirmed that Han Guang was really dead. And now Black Zetsu says the cold light is alive again. If these two things are correct, it means that Han Guang is resurrected. Hu became a little confused, finally stopped, looked at Black Zetsu and said, "Say, what happened? Start over." "I took Hanzo." Black Zetsu began to tell. He determined Hangguang's identity mainly by detecting Lu Han's chakra, but there were multiple testimonies, such as Hiraishin's technique, knife technique, his maintenance of Tsunade, and Tsunade's fear of blood has been cured without medicine. Then, Tsunade suffered from hyperphobia because Hangguang died, which is a heart disease. Therefore, Tsunade's hyperphobia can be cured only if Hangguang is suspended from death or comes back to life. White Zetsu died again. Hanzo is missing. These are two very important pieces of information, but after listening to Black Zetsu's remarks, Uchiha Madara didn't ask any further questions. He started walking back and forth again, muttering, murmuring, and a little nervous. Black Zetsu understands why Madara is like this, because he understands Madara's thirst for life. After a long time, Madara suddenly stopped and asked, "Where is that ninja named Uzumaki Kushina now?" Chapter 0940 His greatest weakness. Uchiha Madara is asking such a stupid question. Why did it get involved with Uzumaki Kushina? Black Zetsu certainly knows who Uzumaki Kushina is, having become a five-tailed Jinchuriki, column force 12 years ago, and 9 years ago, not long after Tsunade left Konoha, she also left Konoha. This is just a small role. In the past 10 years, Uchiha Madara took the initiative to ask Uzumaki Kushina for information in the year that Han Guang died, and he never asked again. Why ask? Uchiha Madara has thought about it carefully. He just thought about it for a long time, and he has a very complicated mental process. The first thing he thought about was whether Hangguang was really resurrected. Then how did the cold light come back to life? The meaning of his master's life. What if he could obtain the resurrection ability or the profound meaning of life that he masters? If I get Hangguang's undead ability, can I be immortal? Han Guang will definitely not hand over his abilities to me. How can I get him to hand over his abilities obediently? Kidnapping Tsunade is a good way. For Tsunade's sake, Han Guang can even give up his life. It's easy to extort an ability, but now that Tsunade is with Han Guang, it is very difficult to kidnap Tsunade. It's better to go directly to Han Guang to fight. Uchiha Madara thought about it like this and finally came up with Uzumaki Kushina. After Han Guang died 10 years ago, Uchiha Madara understood that Han Guang is very emotional and this is his greatest weakness. This made Uchiha Madara very emotional, and he also specially asked White Zetsu to investigate the love story about Hangwang and Tsunade, as well as other people around Hangwang. Because of this, Uchiha Madara has a comprehensive understanding of the relationship between Hangwang and Uzumaki Kushina. Very complicated. First of all, Uzumaki Kushina is the first direct disciple of Hangwang, and secondly, it is not just a disciple, but a daughter, an adopted daughter. Although there is no name for this, Kushina does call Hangwang dad in public, mostly when she is angry. And there is also evidence that Uzumaki Kushina has a love for Hangwang. This kind of thing was only revealed in the year or two before Hangwang's death. At that time, Kushina was 12 or 13 years old. To sum up, Uzumaki Kushina followed Hangwang at the age of 6, and was raised by Hangwang. The relationship between the two was very deep. It can be said that Hangwang is Uzumaki Kushina's closest relative. At present, several of Hangwang's close relatives, the eldest wife Tsunade, the young wife Hyuga Luoning, and the son Li, have all reunited with Hangwang, and it is very difficult to start, and Uzumaki Kushina is left behind. Uzumaki Kushina. Black Zetsu frowned and muttered the name before recalling. The last time she was found and recorded, she was in the Land of Thunder 2 months ago. Uzumaki Kushina is a Jinchuiki column force of 5 tails no matter what. If it's okay, White Zetsu won't take the initiative to investigate her, but if she accidentally sees it, she must record it. Land of Thunder. Uchiha Madara squinted. Kumogakure Village. No, Black Zetsu replied. I didn't find her in Kumogakure Village, but in a commercial village in the northern coastal area of the Land of Thunder. However, she has a good relationship with Hokage I, the 4th generation of Is. The direct disciple of her, so if she is still in the Land of Thunder, she will probably go to Kumogakure Village. Quote. Uchiha Madara slowly looked away, his eyes flickered, he turned around subconsciously, he was thinking. I'm going to Konoha to confirm and see Hangwang's tomb. Black Zetsu said, although I'm almost completely sure that it's Hangwang, it's better to make sure. Besides, Hangwang's identity is disguised, and the weapon he used is Dakuong. No, he was the one who killed White Zetsu for the first time. In other words, he was probably not sent by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not break with us, we wronged him. Over the years, Sarutobi Hiruzen has killed a lot of people in Hangwang, and only one of Hangwang's die-hard loyalists is Hitaki Taishuo. Others, even White Fang, were forced to death by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Therefore, he will definitely guard against Hangwang. It's a great threat. Sarutobi Hiruzen will treat the cold light as an enemy. Besides, before Hangwang killed White Zetsu for the first time that day, I cheated him. He admitted in disguise that he was sent by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Now it seems that he is likely to take the initiative to frame Sarutobi Hiruzen. I hope we break with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Hangwang should be after being resurrected, through some means. I know what Sarutobi Hiruzen has done all these years. Quote. I am very suspicious now that Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't know about the resurrection of Hangwang at all, and Hangwang has been hiding. Otherwise, for his own benefit, Sarutobi Hiruzen should inform us about the resurrection of Hangwang. So this time I went to Konoha. One is check out the Hangwang tomb, and the second is to contact Sarutobi Hiruzen to see his attitude. Quote. After Black Zetsu finished speaking, the cave fell silent. Uchiha Madara didn't speak for a long time. He was thinking about a lot of things now. Because of the resurrection of the cold light, everything suddenly became difficult because the cold light was too strong. Black Zetsu mentioned before when explaining the incident, Hangwang has not retreated, his strength is still so terrifying. The resurrected cold light is still the strongest in the ninja world. There is such an enemy, if he can't deal with it in time, even if Uchiha Madara finds the inheritor of his will, he will not be able to die in peace. Cold light destroys everything. And it is very, very difficult to get rid of the cold light. Uchiha Madara has even begun to think about how to seal the cold light. Yes, it's a seal, not a kill. Because cold light is likely to be immortal. If you die, you can live, but you don't die. By the way, there is one more thing. Ju suddenly said, frowning slightly. What? Madara turned to look at Black Zetsu. White Fang's tomb. Last month, White Fang's tomb was stolen. Even the coffin and the body were gone. Black Zetsu said something. Uchiha Madara's eyes narrowed, then took a deep breath and said, You mean, Hongguang stole White Fang's body, he wants to resurrect White Fang. Both are smart people, and both think very fast. It's very likely, otherwise it's too coincidental. White Fang's abilities are very orthodox. There is no Kekkei Genkai, there is no special secret technique, his corpse has no value, so others will not steal his corpse. Chapter 0941 What about the dead girl? Dark cave, depressing atmosphere. Uchiha Madara walked to the brazier and stared blankly at the flaming flame. Against the background of the beating fire, his expression gradually became terrifying. The more he thinks about it, the more uneasy he is now, because he understands that the cold light after resurrection will destroy everything for him, and it is unfortunate to have such an enemy. But there is another side that makes him happy, that is, through the resurrection of cold light, Uchiha Madara sees the possibility of immortality. You go to see Sarutobi Hiruzen first. Uchiha Madara turned around suddenly, staring at Black Zetsu and said, In the past 10 years, Sarutobi Hiruzen has tried his best to deify Hongguang in order to appease the dissatisfaction of his subordinates. Now that Hongguang is resurrected, Sarutobi Hiruzen's position is unstable, you help him fight. When this war is a condition, let him deal with Hongguang. Okay. Black Zetsu nodded thoughtfully, then asked, Where's Uzumaki Kushina? She might be in the Land of Thunder. Wait first, things need to come one by one. Uchiha Madara's face suddenly turned ugly. I want to make White Zetsu again. He was furious when he mentioned this. Hongguang must have been resurrected not long after he even killed White Zetsu twice. Senju Hashirama's cells, Uchiha Madara has not much stock. After all, Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, cultivates cells. It also takes time. This time to recreate White Zetsu, Uchiha Madara is not even sure if those cells are enough. But White Zetsu must be recreated. Without White Zetsu, an intelligence officer, Uchiha Madara would not be able to quickly master the various dynamics of the ninja world, and it would not be conducive to his implementation of various plans. Uzumaki Kushina, I will leave it to White Zetsu to do it. Uchiha Madara continued, I need to investigate her specific location first. Would you like to release the news of Hongguang's resurrection and let Kurigakure, Sunagakure, and Iwagakure attack him? Black Zetsu thought. Uchiha Madara was silent and thought for a while before saying, Wait, let's understand Sarutobi Hiruzen's attitude first. Late at night, the mansion in Ludu village. In the lobby on the first floor, Xiao Ali, who had already eaten, was already drowsy, and the shadow cat was lying on top of his head, and was about to fall asleep. How Tsunade had eaten, the food on the table had only moved a little, and it was already cold. Luhan took Hyuga Luo Ning upstairs at sunset, and he hasn't come down yet. Tsunade went upstairs to see twice. The room was sealed by Luhan. She didn't know what was inside, but it was certain that Luhan was treating Hyuga Luo Ning. The poison on Hyuga Luo Ning's body is indeed very difficult to solve, because the toxin has entered the heart, and Tsunade did not dare to use extreme methods before treatment. The human heart is fragile, and if there is a slight problem, it will be fatal. Blah blah. With the sound of footsteps, Hyuga Luo Ning walked downstairs with Luhan's arm on her shoulders. Her face was moist, her breath was full, she seemed to be all right, and Tsunade could no longer smell the special fragrance on Hyuga Luo Ning's body. How? Tsunade stood up suddenly. It's all right. Luhan smiled. It's a special pot poison of the Cthulhu sect. It can be removed with the ritual of the Cthulhu. In the early years, Luhan had killed Mundogen, the chief commander of the Kurigakure scout force, who was born in the cultist sect. Luhan not only got Mundogen's unforgettable ability, but also in the process of accepting the ability, he learned about the arrangement methods of many cult rituals. It is precisely because of this ability that Lu Han judged that the poison in Hyuga Luoning was the poison of the evil god religion, and cracked it. "I'll keep the dishes hot." Tsunade picked up the plate and went to the kitchen. Hyuga Luoning also helped bring the dishes to the kitchen. Xiao Ali has already stood up nervously, looking like she has no sleepiness at all. "Have you eaten?" Lu Han had no smile on his face, looking very serious. "I have eaten, Ali said. "Do you know you're wrong?" "I know." "Okay, for the sake of your obedience, I won't beat you. I'll punish you to go out and live in the former house. It's late at night. What else is going on? I'll talk about it tomorrow." This is a luxurious mansion in a wealthy area. There is naturally more than one building in the entire mansion. In addition to the main building, there are side buildings, front houses, and other places where businessmen can hold banquets for hundreds of people, or ninjas can come to practice. Warehouse-style building. Xiao Ali looked relieved, bowed to Lu Han, and trotted out. The shadow cat was still lying on top of his head and was taken away. There are 8 dishes in total, and Tsunade and Hyuga Luoning have just left 4. Tsunade came out of the kitchen again and wanted to serve the dishes again, but found that Ali was gone, and asked in confusion, "Did Ali go upstairs?" "No, I let him go out to live, it's a punishment for him." Lu Han gave his son a natural look. Tsunade was taken aback. What kind of punishment is this? Where to live differently? Immediately after, she reacted, her cheeks turned Yuhi, and she gave Lu Han a fierce look. Her whole body became a little twitchy, but the corners of her mouth couldn't help but bring a smile. You, if you let Ali know that you are there." "What are you thinking? Let me see where your face is." "Why?" Lu Han smiled, pulled Tsunade forward and hugged him hard. It's like he won't marry a wife in the future. After speaking, Lu Han kissed Tsunade's lips. "Very sweet. Don't worry, let's eat first." Hyuga Luoning came out of the kitchen and saw the 2 people hugging each other, and joked, but her cheeks turned Yuhi. She heard it in the kitchen just now. Ali was driven away, and now there are only 3 of them left in the building, a husband and 2 wives. The night is getting darker. After the meal, the table was not tidied up. Amid the exclamations of the 2 women, Lu Han carried one between his arms and another on his shoulders, and led them upstairs. After, Yue hid in the dark clouds, as if shyly hiding. Several times of wind and rain. Towards dawn. The sky was already bright outside the window. Lu Han tilted his head to look at the window amid the entanglement of lotus and powdered legs, but he was completely sleepy. On one side, Tsunade was drawing circles on Lu Han's hand, and on the other side, Hyuga Luoning leaned against Lu Han's shoulder, rubbing and rubbing. "Can't sleep, chat." Lu Han asked a lot about Xiao Ali, and said about his 10 years of sleeping, and finally asked another person. "What about the dead girl? I heard that she left Konoha to find you. Do you know where she is now?" Chapter 0942_Tragedy caused by the pursuit. "Damn girl. Soy mujer. Bad girl. Girl." Waiting words came out of Lu Han's mouth, referring to one person, Uzumaki Kushina. After Lu Han asked, he waited for an answer, but what was waiting was the silence of the 2. "What's the matter?" Lu Han tilted his head left and right to look. Hyuga Luoning had buried his head and hid and didn't speak, while Tsunade looked like he couldn't say anything. He hesitated, as if something had happened. Lu Han finally looked at Tsunade again and asked, "What's wrong?" "We quarreled," Tsunade whispered, and it was obvious that she was a little regretful. "I scolded her, because the quarrel was too intense. I couldn't hold back, slapped her and she ran away and never came back." "When did it happen?" 4 years ago, she found us when Ali was 1 year old, and we lived together. She left 4 years ago, and I never saw her again, but I asked Orochimaru to inquire about him. She, like us, has no permanent residence, has been for many years, but she has been alone, like a wanderer. "Because of what? You quarreled and you beat her?" Lu Han asked suspiciously. Uzumaki Kushina was raised by Lu Han, but he was actually raised by Tsunade. Tsunade spent more time with her, and the two were 10 years apart in age. At 4 years old, Tsunade was her aunt, but more like her mother. In fact, Tsunade loves Uzumaki Kushina very much. Lu Han often teaches Uzumaki Kushina a lesson, and Tsunade always helps him. Tsunade also reprimanded her, but she never seemed to hit her, not even when she was a child. 4 years ago, Uzumaki Kushina was 19 years old and was already a woman. How did Tsunade hit her? There is a ninja after her. Tsunade moved his body and leaned against Lu Han's ear. Yulin's breath spit on his cheek. It's an elite Jonin, very young, from Takian village. Aha! Lu Han made a nasal sound. Kushina has reached her age. It is normal for a young genius ninja to pursue her. And then, Kushina was very unhappy and complained to me. I went to the ninja, beat him, and told him not to pester Kushina. Tsunade continued. After that, I took Ali, Luo Ning, Kushina, the few of us left the country of Taki, but I didn't expect that ninja to catch up. He is the kind of very patient person. I have taught him twice, but he didn't fight back. He just pestered Kushina and helped us every day. We went to the Land of Thunder and rented a common village. Come here, help us fix our house, help us fix our well. I can feel it, he really likes Kushina very much. Quote. Kushina hated him more and more, and even got into a fight with him, seriously wounding the ninja. You scolded Kushina for this? Lu Han asked. Of course not. Tsunade shook his head. He is indeed a little annoying. After being seriously injured, he is still unrelenting, and he looks like he will not give up until he catches up. Kushina finally didn't even bother to beat him. Originally, I thought that after a long time, he would give up. Kushina looked down on him, and he would never have a chance, and as a result. Tsunade dragged a long note, not to sell off, but to recall the situation at that time. What's the result? Lu Han asked. Kushina left for 3 days, and I don't know where she went. Tsunade continued, then the ninja was watching over us, he knew Kushina would definitely come back. 3 days later Kushina came back, and about half an hour later. Month time, that ninja is dead. Dead. Lu Han was taken aback. Kushina killed him. Not Kushina. Who is that? Xiao Ai. Xiao Ai. Lu Han blinked blankly. Yes, it's Xiao Ai. Tsunade spoke faster. At that time, Xiao Ai was not the 4th generation of Raikage. He brought a large group of ninjas to our place. Found that ninja, he will kill. Kushina left for 3 days to find Xiao Ai. Yes, I asked Kushina later, and she admitted it. Tsunade looked sad. I was very angry at the time. Kushina is a little too tyrannical. I can't do this kind of thing, although I usually can't control my temper. But at most it is a lesson, not to say that killing people because of non-malicious contradictions. This is wrong. I don't want Kushina to become so fierce. I scolded her. In fact, as long as she admits her mistakes, I will forgive her. Impulsive, but Kushina quarreled with me, yelled, I hit her when I got excited, and she ran away crying. And never came back. Lu Han was a little stunned. What a mess. Who is right and who is wrong? It can't be said that Kushina must be wrong. If Lu Han is replaced, this kind of stalker will definitely kill him if he can't stand it. However, it cannot be said that Tsunade is wrong, because Tsunade considers the problem from the perspective of educating Kushina. She does not want Kushina to go the wrong way. She has raised Kushina for 13 years. She has this right. Where's Xiao Ai? He was in a hurry and left after killing people. He said something to Kushina before leaving, and I talked to me. So, Luo Ning, why are you hiding? What have you done? Hyuga Luo Ning buried her head and said nothing. Luo Ning, she's here to reprimand Kushina for me. Tsunade said, we said something serious. Alas. Lu Han sighed, what's the matter? Tsunade is grumpy, so is Kushina. If they really quarreled and pointed to maiming, there would be an accident, and there would not be a situation where each would take a step back. Time flies. 3 days have passed in a blink of an eye. Lu Han's family is still in Ludu village, living a peaceful and warm life before finding his wife and son. Lu Han intends to enjoy a relaxing time, and is also waiting for someone, waiting for Orochimaru. Orochimaru just needs to wait for Tsunade to return to Ludu village. The news will surely come. At noon that day, Ali was practicing physique in the yard, and someone came to visit. Hyuga Bonin, the current chief executive of Ludu village. The other is a male ninja who is about 30 years old and his muscles are bursting. He is an acquaintance. 4th generation Reikage, I. Chapter 0943 Reikage Xiao. In the courtyard, Ali, who was practicing boxing, stopped and frowned slightly as he looked at the two who entered the door. He knew Hyuga Bonin, he had met him a few days ago, and Xiao also remembered that he was a child when he was very young. I saw Xiao. Ali is a monster, he can remember everything after he was 2 years old. Now the 4th generation of Reikage is his father's direct disciple. Ali is naturally aware of this. Ali couldn't help but turn his head to look under the tree in the corner of the courtyard. Before, Lu Han was standing in Ali, watching Ali practice, but now he was gone. Ali. It's Ali, right? Ha 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 ha. She really looks like a teacher, and the little guy has grown up. When Xiao saw Ali, she grinned and walked quickly to Ali, up and down. He looked at it. Well, not bad. He's pretty tall, but he's a little too beautiful, and he's not a man at all. That's not good. Isn't it pretty? Ali pouted at Xiao. Do you have to look like you to be a man? Hey, little guy, do you remember who I am? Of course I remember. You are my father's disciple. After all, I should call you Big Brother, right? Yes. Ha ha ha. Good boy, not afraid of life at all. Good memory, good. Inside the house, Tsunade and Hyuga Luo came out one after another when they heard the news. Tsunade was surprised to see that Xiao was with Bonin Hyuga. He glanced at the courtyard again, and when he saw Lu Han was gone, he understood what Lu Han was thinking. Hyuga Luo winked. When Xiao saw someone coming out, she immediately took a few steps forward and saluted. I have seen Xiniang, little Xiniang. The last time Tsunade saw Xiao was 4 years ago, but he didn't have much contact with him. In fact, Tsunade's main impression of Xiao was still when Xiao was studying with Lu Han back then. Looking at Xiao at this time is completely different. Very airy. As one of the strongest in the ninja world and one of the most powerful ninjas, Reikage I's superior has a very strong temperament. It can be seen from the fact that he can calmly call Hyuga Luo Ning's little sister. He is mature. Whatever the seniority should be, call it whatever you want, be calm and open-minded, and there will be no embarrassed emotions. At this moment, Xiao is imposing, with deep eyes. Although he looks like a reckless man, he only looks like him. The same is true of his father. However, how can someone who can serve as a leader be so simple? Come, sit inside. Tsunade invited Xiao into the room. Tsunade, Hyuga Luo Ning, Hyuga Bonin, and Xiao entered the main building. Only Ali remained in the yard and looked around secretly. He was looking for Lu Han. Where is Dad? Inside the house, everyone was seated. How did you come to Ludu village? Tsunade asked with a smile. She didn't receive when Hyuga Bonin came that day, because she didn't want to deal with the Konoha Anbu ninja, no matter who that person was, but this time, Xiao came together. Xiao has been living with Lu Han in practice for nearly a year and a half. Tsunade, as a mistress, does not know how many meals he has cooked for him and how many times he has healed his injuries. Moreover, Tsunade is 7 years older than Xiao, which is completely true. Treat him as a close junior. Of course, Tsunade wouldn't be so ignorant. This is Reikage, the 4th generation, for no special reason, and Tsunade will not assume the posture of a mistress. After all, this is her husband's disciple, not hers. I'm here for Xiniang. Xiao smiled. As long as Xiniang is all right, it seems that the matter has been solved. Oh, come to see me. Tsunade was surprised. She thought that Xiao Ai came to Ludu village office for some business. She heard that she was here and stopped by to see her. Yes. Xiao Ai nodded. A few days ago, I received a secret report that Xiniang was being chased and killed in the country of Vortex. Originally, I wanted to inform my brother to bring someone to find Xiniang. Killer Bee is in the country of Vortex. But Killer Bee was injured before, so I explained what happened in the village, came over to have a look, and then. Xiao Ai's trigger time was a little later, because it was a time of war. As Reikage, he was busy with his affairs. He needed some time to explain some things to the senior management of Kumogakure before he could come. He only went to Yihai village yesterday, and learned that Konoha sent ninjas to the country of Vortex to find Tsunade, and also knew that the base camp of the operation was in Ludu village. So he came over today and directly contacted the Konoha ninja here as Reikage, and Benin Hyuga told him that Tsunade had escaped and lived here. After listening to Xiao Ai, Tsunade looked at Xiao Ai with a warmer and closer look. Han Guang has been dead for 10 years, and Xiao Ai, who has become the fourth generation of Reikage, has not forgotten the kindness of Han Guang's teaching to him. Hearing that his wife is in danger, he can still come over to help. Very good, very good. Third generation Reikage Lao Ai was alive, he was known for his faithfulness. Although he was a martial artist, he did not play tricks and tricks. Even if he started a war, he would tell you frankly that I would beat you just for money. Xiao Ai's character is very similar to Lao Ai. People chat. Bonin Hyuga was like an outsider, he couldn't get in what Tsunade said to Xiao Ai. He had been observing Tsunade and Xiao Ai's expression, and his heart sank. He hopes Tsunade can go back to Konoha, but only if Tsunade has a necessary reason to go back to Konoha. For example, it's too dangerous outside, but now it seems that even if it's dangerous outside, Tsunade doesn't need Konoha's protection, she still has a backer, that is Kumogakure village. Relationship is too hard. Contrast, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Xiao Ai borrowed money from Tsunade at the same time, and Tsunade is obviously more likely to lend to the latter. By the way, Mrs., who is chasing you? You are so bold. Xiao Ai was about to get angry. Since I'm in the country of Vortex this time, everything will be resolved. Kill the ones who deserve to be killed, and also warn those people by the way. People with ideas, the legacy left by teachers, they are not something they can spy on. Quote. It was Hanzo's plan to hunt me down this time, Tsunade said directly. Hanzo. Xiao Ai's expression froze. He didn't have the strength to kill Hanzo. The two belong to the same level of existence. Although Hanzo has begun to age, he is wily and cunning. It is very difficult to kill him. However, Hanzo is dead, Tsunade added. Huh. Xiao Ai stared at Tsunade. Hyuga Burnin has been shocked. Chapter 0944 Don't tell you. Hanzo is dead. He died. Today, Benin Hyuga came to lead Xiao Ai on the one hand, and on the other hand, he wanted to find an opportunity to persuade Tsunade to return to Konoha. This is his mission. As the oldest ninja in Anbu today, 45-year-old Hyuga Bonin is about to retire. He is too old to take on Anbu's mission. He wants to make merit and retire with honor. He's here to persuade Tsunade. That's it. I didn't expect to hear such amazing news. Once the news spreads, the entire ninja world will be a sensation, and even the direction of the ninja world war will be affected. The demigod Hanzo, who has been at the top of the ninja world for half his life, can be said to be the ninja who has experienced the most dangers in the ninja world. His death was too sudden, but it was unacceptable and unbelievable. Why did you die? Xiao Ai was still staring at Tsunade, but she didn't return to her senses for a long time. He's dead, Tsunade repeated, calmly. Others couldn't believe that Hanzo was killed because they didn't know who killed Hanzo. Tsunade knew that that man was his husband, a legendary existence known as the king of an era. If others knew it was Hangguang who killed him, with Hanzo, it wouldn't be so hard to believe. However, Tsunade couldn't say anything about Hangguang. Master killed him? Xiaoai asked in disbelief. I don't have that kind of strength. If I had, I wouldn't wait until today. Tsunade smiled. A friend, help me kill him. Friend? Friend. Who? I won't tell you. Tsunade is very straightforward and doesn't lie to Xiaoai. If he doesn't tell you, he won't tell you. Master, why, can't you say it? Xiaoai was a little anxious, like a cat's claw in her heart. Tsunade said half of it. It was too uncomfortable, that, your friend, he has what? Or is that the mysterious powerhouse? The one on the battlefield that day? Hyuga Burnin finally found a chance to interject. Tsunade glanced at Bonin Hyuga, and said, Looking at Xiaoai again, Tsunade said, it's not that I don't want to tell you, it's that I can't say it, but you'll know after a while. Tsunade wasn't sure if Lu Han would take the initiative to see Xiaoai, but even if he didn't see him, Uchiha Madara also knew that Han Guang was resurrected, and the news would spread sooner or later. Mistress. I really can't tell. Little mistress. Xiaoai looked at Hyuga Luo Ning again. Hyuga Luo Ning was the same age as him and had always been better at talking than Tsunade. Apples are delicious. Hyuga Luo Ning pretended not to hear, took a bite of the apple in the fruit bowl, and muttered to herself. It's time for lunch, let's talk. I'll go to the kitchen to cook, and Xiaoai will stay for lunch together. Tsunade laughed, then got up and walked to the kitchen. She didn't invite Hyuga Burnin, really didn't want to see her. Hyuga Luo Ning was a little embarrassed. Tsunade had the final say. She didn't dare to make her own decisions, she could only give Hyuga Bonin an apologetic look. Hyuga Burnin didn't notice Hyuga Luo Ning's eyes. At this moment, his mind was in chaos, still thinking about that. Hanzo is dead. He actually died. This matter must be reported to Konoha immediately. I still have tasks. Hyuga Burnin suddenly stood up, bowed to Xiaoai, and said to Hyuga Luo Ning, I'll go back first. Uncle, I'll take it to you. Hyuga Luo Ning asked Xiaoai to take a moment and sent Hyuga Burnin out of the door. When she got outside the gate, Hyuga Luo Ning whispered, Uncle Burnin, that sister, she is not targeting you, don't. I understand, it's fine. Hyuga Bonin smiled at Hyuga Luo Ning, it's just because of my Anbu status. Tsunade, Sama has that temper. It's not that I don't know, you can go back. After speaking, Hyuga Burnin hurriedly left. He was all about Hanzo's death, so he wouldn't mind Tsunade's attitude, besides, it was useless for him to mind. Tsunade was cooking. After Hyuga Luo Ning returned to the house, he chatted with Xiaoai for a while, and then went to the kitchen. Xiaoai came to the yard to watch Ali practice the exercises. Ali seems to be very hardworking. Without using chakra, he practiced his fists and kicks, and he fought extremely fast, but he did not bring out too much wind, which showed that his control over his body was amazing. Xiaoai stood at the door and watched for a while, and began to admire Ali a little. I thought that when Xiaoai was 9 years old, she didn't work so hard. She needed the encouragement of her father to study hard and practice hard every day. Children, self-control is always worse. However, what Xiaoai didn't know was that Xiao Ali was not usually so diligent at all, and Tsunade didn't allow him to practice too hard, and he was still growing. Excessive practice would damage his body. The reason why Ali is working so hard today is entirely because Lu Han is gone. Ali didn't know where Dad went, and seriously suspected that Dad was watching from the dark. If he didn't behave hard, he would be beaten. Xiaoai watched for more than half an hour, but Ali didn't stop. Xiaoai was a little distressed when she watched it. How could she practice like this? What if you practice badly? Eat. Tsunade's voice called from inside the room. Xiao Ali finally stopped. When Xiaoai and Ali entered the room, the food was already on the table. Lunch, 4 people. I haven't tasted Xinjiang's craftsmanship for many years. Xiaoai was holding a huge rice bowl, and she felt a little emotional, since the teacher. Xiaoai suddenly stopped and carefully observed Tsunade's expression. It's okay, let's talk. Tsunade glanced at Xiao Ai and said. Since the teacher passed away, I haven't had a chance. Xiao Ai sighed, and seemed to think of something, and said, Miss, have you considered living in Kumogakure village? Ali is practicing physical arts, right? He used to, can also have some friends who communicate with each other. Well, Tsunade thought about it. Kushina is also in Kumogakure village, you seem to have misunderstood. Xiao Ai said again. Huh, Tsunade was stunned, blinked, then turned his gaze to the figure that suddenly appeared behind Xiao Ai, then got up and walked towards the kitchen. Xiao Ai didn't understand Tsunade's reaction, but then she looked back as if she had noticed something. Lu Han patted Xiao Ai on the shoulder, sat on the chair beside Xiao Ai, and asked, Kushina is in Kumogakure village. Chapter 0945_Master and Apprentice. Tsunade came out of the kitchen with clean bowls and chopsticks in his hand, walked to the dining table and handed it to Lu Han, and then sat across from Lu Han. Xiao Ai was like a darling baby. After Lu Han appeared, he put down the chopsticks in his hand and sat upright. Xiao Ai hasn't recovered yet. He looked at Lu Han, at Lu Han's young face, always at. What about you? Lu Han knocked on the table, and then smiled. Xiao Ai's expression now. It's too ornamental. Ah! Xiao Ai screamed, stood up suddenly, still staring at Lu Han, and then slapped herself suddenly, with a smack sound. Her face hurt. Dream. I'm dreaming. Does it hurt? Tsunade asked suddenly. Xiao Ai's attention was attracted by Tsunade, and subconsciously replied, It hurts. It hurts. Tsunade smiled. Xiao Ai looked at Tsunade, then at Lu Han, then at Tsunade, then at Hyuga Luo Ning, and finally at A Li. Now he even has the illusion that everything in front of him is fake. Fake Tsunade, fake cold light. All fake. And if Tsunade were true, there would be an unexplained logical problem. Why wasn't Tsunade surprised to see that Han Guang was dead? Why is it so natural? If Tsunade is not here, Hyuga Luo Ning and A Li are not here, Xiao Ai will definitely fight when she sees the cold light, because the cold light must be fake. It's someone impersonating. The problem is, Tsunade is real. They are all real. Neither of them were surprised, nor did they find it strange. Then there was only one explanation left, the cold light is real. Bewildered is not enough to describe Xiao Ai's state at this time. Suddenly. So scary. Lu Han did not prove his identity to Xiao Ai step by step, but came out to talk and ask things. This is the fundamental reason why Xiao Ai was frightened. The reason why Lu Han was like this was that he felt it was unnecessary. To prove who he is, he doesn't need complicated explanations at all. Old teacher, Xiao Ai stammered and raised her hand as if she wanted to touch Lu Han. I guess he wanted to see if Lu Han was a ghost or something. Lu Han grabbed Xiao Ai's wrist, pushed it aside, tilted his head and said, Hey. Teacher, you're not dead, Xiao Ai said slowly with a dumbfounded expression. Dead, but alive again. Lu Han continued, my consciousness slept for 10 years, and it wasn't until last month, the 10th anniversary of my death, that my consciousness woke up and resurrected. Is this? Xiao Ai was dumbfounded, then turned to look at Tsunade again, as if Tsunade could confirm it for him. That's it. Tsunade nodded to Xiao Ai. Xiao Ai turned her head to look at Lu Han again. He actually. Yuhi had eye circles. Lu Han got goosebumps a little. He really couldn't stand this. A big man with a big back. Yuhi's eyes. If a woman, Lu Han can accept it at any age, but a man. Although Xiao Ai is a real temperament, not pretending, but Lu Han is one of the most important mentors in his life. When Lu Han came back, Lu Han was resurrected, and a dead person appeared alive in front of him. He was excited, joyful, and even wept with joy. But Lu Han still felt a little cold. Xiao Ai is a very emotional person. So did Lu Han. It's just that the two express it differently. Sit, you sit first. Lu Han pointed to the chair. He decided to divert Xiao Ai's attention. Don't ask me first, I'll talk about it later, answer me a few questions first. Xiao sat down slowly and kept looking at Lu Han. Kushina in Kumogakure village. Quote. Yes. How long has she lived there? In less than 2 months. What is she doing at the Tenten in Kumogakure village? She joined Kumogakure. No, it's just, the Tenten are looking for someone to fight. Fight? Yes, she is not bad, and she is also the best among the elite Jonin. She has fought with Killer Bee a few times, winning and losing. Well, okay, let's eat. Lu Han said with a smile, picking up the bowl and chopsticks. Lu Han is relieved. Since Uzumaki Kushina is in Kumogakure village, there is basically no danger, and her own strength is not weak. As a 5-tailed Jinchuriki column power, she can be similar to Killer Bee, so at least she must be a top super elite, or even he may have stepped into the cage level threshold. Kushina is 23 years old this year. With such strength, considering his talent, he is lower than Tsunade and others. However, in comparison, Lu Han still felt that the Uzumaki Kushina in the original book was definitely stronger than the Kushina in this world at the age of 23. Absolutely cage level. After all, in the original work, it was the Kyubi 9-tails person Jinchuriki column power, and he did not leave Konoha. There was always someone to guide the practice. We'll go find Kushina in a few days. Lu Han put a ball in the alley bowl, raised his head and said to Tsunade. Okay. Tsunade nodded. Xiao was holding her rice bowl, as if she couldn't move her hands, and kept looking at Lu Han. Do I have flowers on my face? Lu Han gave Xiao a sideways glance. Xiao subconsciously avoided Lu Han's eyes. It was a conditioned reflex. Although he is Raikage now, and he is already 30 years old, when he followed Lu Han's practice, Tenten was beaten, and he was very afraid of Lu Han. Dad, where's the kitten? Asked Ali, who was biting the ball. The shadow cat has been away for a day, and has not appeared since yesterday afternoon until now. Going to find your uncle Orochimaru. Lu Han glanced back. Ali really likes cats. Hyuga Luo Ning pursed her lips and smiled. It doesn't like you either. Who said it doesn't like me? It does. Li said immediately. Really? Then why does it keep messing with your hair? He's still small and likes to scratch his hair. Eating, chatting, the atmosphere is relaxed and warm. Xiao didn't say a word for a long time, because all this was a little unreal. It took him a long time to get used to it. Everything is true. Real. Teacher Han Guang is back. He is here. Alive. Old, teacher, Xiao said weakly. I'm not a ghost, can you be normal? You are Raikage, Lu Han said helplessly. Okay. Xiao immediately sat up straight, but he still looked a little abnormal. It was obviously the sequelae of Lu Han's over-disciplining him back then. Teacher, you killed Hanzo. Chapter 0946 _ This is a misunderstanding. Xiao was shocked one after another today. Hanzo's death made him react for a long time, and Hengguang lived even more. Then he would naturally think that Hanzo died in Hengguang's hands. I killed him. He joined forces with the heretic god sect in Takian village to hunt down your wife, damn it. Lu Han said. It is as expected. That makes sense. Teacher, your master's secret art of life? Xiao asked hesitantly. He didn't know if this would lead to Lu Han's plan. After all, everyone has secrets. The technique of the profound meaning of life is an immortal technique that only exists in legends. Currently, the known techniques of life and death in the ninja world are only techniques that are close to the profound meaning of life, such as Konoha's forbidden technique Impure World Reincarnation. It is only close, not true. Resurrect people. The profound meaning of life. Lu Han muttered for a while, and then said after thinking about it, that's right. Well, yes. Lu Han can indeed be resurrected. But that's conditional. You use the sleep ability for your own resurrection. You must have a resurrection scroll when you activate the sleep ability, and resurrecting others is the subversive's exclusive end ability, resurrection. If you compare it, this is definitely true. The magic of life. Under limited conditions, Lu Han can indeed bring people back from the dead. Moreover, Lu Han had also exchanged the technique of reincarnation without corpse before, which is a technique that can truly make people immortal. It is not wrong to say that Master Lu Han's life's secret art. The table was quiet for a while. I don't know what Xiao Ai was thinking, she even forgot to eat the rice while holding the bowl. Lu Han ate half a bowl of rice, wiped his mouth and asked, "How is your relationship with Kushina now?" Xiao Ai regained her senses, blinked her eyes, and then said with a somewhat embarrassed expression, "It's normal. Not very good. She still uses her identity as a senior sister to oppress me, and I can't care about her. So usually in Kumogakure village, I always avoid her." Quote. Ha! Lu Han laughed. Unacceptable. How can this be so? Lu Han could imagine that Kushina was staring at Xiao Ai, and Xiao Ai must be very helpless. He is Reikage, the head of Kumogakure village. I heard, because of the incident 4 years ago, the mistress seems to have misunderstood with Kushina. Xiao Ai took the initiative to bring up the incident again. Misunderstanding. Lu Han squinted at Xiao Ai. Kushina went to find you, and you came to kill the trouble. Is it a misunderstanding? It's a misunderstanding. Xiao Ai nodded seriously. Lu Han was taken aback. Tsunade and Hyuga Luo Ning, who had been listening all the time, raised their heads to look at Xiao Ai at the same time. It's just a misunderstanding. That's why I say it's a misunderstanding. Xiao Ai glanced at it, and said with certainty, and finally looked at Lu Han, "Teacher. Do you think I will kill people?" "It's hard to say," Lu Han replied. "Teacher, I am this kind of person in your heart." Xiao Ai suddenly became anxious and stood up. He was very concerned about Lu Han's opinion of him. "Don't worry, I didn't say you were wrong." Lu Han patted Xiao Ai's arm and let him sit down. "Impulsive murder, even if it annoys me, even if there is no intention to hurt me, I'll kill people too. But that's a misunderstanding. Speak. What the hell is going on?" "That's it." Xiao Ai began to tell. "That morning, when I just started practicing, Kushina came. She said that someone was harassing and pestering her, and the Kingdom of Thunder was the territory of Kumogakure village, so I beat that guy out. That is to drive out the country of thunder. That ninja is the elite Jonin from Taki Ninja Village, only 23 years old, is the leader of the younger generation of Taki Ninja Village, named Feiwu." Quote. Of course I agreed. I also told my father that I wanted to go directly to get people later, throw it back to Taki Ninja Village, and then warn Taki Ninja Village by the way, but my father didn't think it was right. He said, "Kushina is 5 tails. Human Jinchuriki column power. From the perspective of Shinobi Village, if Feiwu really catches up with Kushina is a Taki Shinobi Village ninja, but this kind of small ninja village is unable to protect the human Jinchuiki column power. It's going to get them in big trouble. Although Kushina has left Konoha, it can only be regarded as a wanderer. She is still a Konoha ninja. Because of this, no one dares to trouble her, otherwise it will start a war. I didn't think there was a problem at the time, but my father told me to stay still and go check first. It took half a month for us to find out that Feiwu is a member of Taki Ninja Anbu, and Taki Ninja Village and Omegakure Village secretly cooperated. They shared the mission and shared information. Feiwu's pursuit of Kushina is completely a pretense. In this way, he can blatantly operate in the country of thunder and collect intelligence. He has established a stronghold in the country of thunder and has more than 10 ninjas under his command. Tsunade's face changed. She already knew what was going on behind her. Then, I took someone to the place where my wife lived and found Feiwu. I wanted to capture him alive, but that guy started the forbidden technique, so I killed him. Because of the emergency, after I killed him, I took someone directly. I left and headed to the base that Feiwu established at the border. Xiao Ai said and looked at Tsunade, and continued. After destroying that stronghold, 2 days later, I went to the small village where the teacher lived, but the teacher and the others have already left. Because the teacher is wandering, I didn't think much of it, but when I got back to Kumogakure village, Kushina was already waiting for me. Quote. Kushina came to question me, why did I kill someone directly, so that she was beaten by the mistress. Then I explained, Kushina cried, and left after crying. For the next 4 years, Kushina came to Kumogakure village. 3 times, each time I stayed for a while and left, that's all. Quiet. After Xiao-ai finished speaking, everyone was silent. Tsunade's face has recovered, and she doesn't know if she has any regrets in her heart. Luhan glanced at Tsunade. He really wanted to raise his head and ask the sky, what is all this shit? When are we going to find Kushina? Tsunade asked suddenly, looking up at Luhan. In a few days, Luhan replied. Whoosh. A furry little guy suddenly appeared above Xiao Ali's head, who was cooking rice. Shadow cat. Luhan glanced at it, then got up immediately and said, Orochimaru is back, I'll go take a look. Chapter 0947 _ he will definitely treat you as an enemy. Luhan asked the Shadow Cat to find Orochimaru. When the Shadow Cat came back, Orochimaru should at least be outside the village, and Jiraiya should be by Orochimaru's side. After Luhan finished speaking, he got up and disappeared. Some things, he just wanted to talk to Orochimaru alone, so he didn't want to wait for Orochimaru to find out. It was noon, Ludu village was very lively, and the downtown area was extremely noisy. Orochimaru, who was cold and arrogant, and Jiraiya, who was mighty and majestic, quickly jumped from building to building, and quickly approached the mansion where Tsunade lived. Before leaving his side, Shadow Cat had already told him the location of the mansion. Whizzing. The two jumped to the rooftop of a restaurant again, and just as they were about to jump again, Luhan suddenly appeared behind them. Luhan was dressed in a home kimono, like a housewife and a man, with his cuffs rolled up and no mask on. Orochimaru would not be surprised to see Luhan, but he glanced at Jiraiya subconsciously. Luhan didn't hide his identity this time. Jiraiya knew his face. Jiraiya was stunned first, then stunned, and then looked dazed. Lord Hangwang, Orochimaru called, helping Luhan to prove his identity. Yeah, Luhan responded. You. Jiraiya raised her fingers to Luhan, her hands trembled a little, her fingertips were shaking, and she couldn't say what you said. Shish. Luhan put his finger in front of his mouth and said again, don't ask me, go over there, Tsunade and the others are eating, let her explain to you. Luhan really didn't want to meet anyone and explained it again. He can reveal his identity to Jiraiya now because Jiraiya is trustworthy and he will never fight Tsunade. Even if he is very loyal to Sarutobi Hiruzen, even if the most extreme situation arises and he has to make a choice, he will remain neutral. After Luhan finished speaking, he looked at Orochimaru again, tilted his head and said, find a place with no one and talk. Call. Luhan and Orochimaru disappeared on the rooftop one after another, leaving only Jiraiya who was still confused. For a long time, Jiraiya jumped out of the rooftop and moved quickly towards the wealthy area. Not long after. In a cozy lobby. Xiao-ai finally started to eat, but he ate very slowly and looked preoccupied. He had a big appetite and used an extra large bowl. In fact, it was a clay pot for soup. The Shadow Cat scratched Xiao Ali's hair again, and looked like a master, again, meowing twice, I want to eat. Ali took a piece of sashimi with chopsticks and handed it to the Shadow Cat's mouth. The Shadow Cat just ate the sashimi in his mouth when he heard a pop. Tsunade slapped Xiao Ali's hand with chopsticks, and stared at Xiao Ali, is it dirty? Dirty. Xiao Ali drooped his head immediately, got up obediently, and carried the Shadow Cat to the kitchen to get new chopsticks. The disgusted and dirty Shadow Cat also turned back to swear at Tsunade. Tsunade gave it a sideways look, full of murderous eyes, and the Shadow Cat turned around immediately, as if nothing had happened. The master's eldest wife can't afford to offend. Boom. The door was slammed open, startling everyone. It was Jiraiya. Come on, what's the hurry? It's Frizzy. Tsunade smiled when he saw the person coming, and then turned to greet Ali who was heading to the kitchen. Ali, bring another set of tableware and chopsticks here. I see the cold light, Jiraiya said, staring at Tsunade, ignoring Reikage, the fourth generation, who was sitting at the dining table. Somewhere in Ludu village, in a grove. Are you injured? Luhan looked at Orochimaru and asked. When he saw Orochimaru for the first time, he found that Orochimaru's breath was unstable. If it wasn't because Orochimaru's face was too pale, he should have been pale at this time. Bloody. Orochimaru nodded, a cold light flashing in his eyes. What happened? It's in Shinying village, which is the commercial village in the southeast of the country of Vortex. The commercial scale can be ranked in the top 10 of the country of Vortex. The force behind it is the village of Omegakure. Orochimaru's voice was slow. Last time you confirmed the pursuit. Tsunade's enemies included Omegakure, and I went over with Jiraiya, and as a result, Matsuri, the elder of the cult, and Chiyo, the consultant elder of Sunagakure village, were all there. Chiyo is here too. Luhan pondered for a while. Chiyo also came to the country of Vortex, either by Hanzo or Black Zetsu. Luhan doesn't know the strength of the elder Matsuri priest of the evil god sect. It's always very strong and weird. Chiyo, she's in her 50s, not too old. She must be stronger than the Chiyo grandmother in the original book. You lost? Luhan asked. I won, Orochimaru said coldly. I started the forbidden technique to hurt myself. Although Jiraiya and I destroyed the village of gods and shadows, the elder Matsuri priest and Chiyo all escaped. Well, I'll let Tsunade treat you later. Luhan nodded and said again, speaking of business. I've already been exposed. Orochimaru frowned. A few days ago, it was near Ludu village. Luhan began to explain the situation. The new White Zetsu and Black Zetsu came together. They formed a must and also brought Hanzo. Both Hanzo and the new White Zetsu were killed by me, but I still let Black Zetsu run away. Black Zetsu recognized me, and there were Tsunade, Luo Ning, Ali, Shadow. Black Zetsu will definitely tell Uchiha Madara when he goes back. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Uchiha Madara have been in contact with Uchiha Madara through White Zetsu over the years, have been collaborating. Madara will tell Sarutobi Hiruzen that time should have passed a few days. Sarutobi Hiruzen has probably met with Black Zetsu. You know what I mean. Orochimaru looked at Luhan coldly, was silent for a while, and then said coldly, I can't go back to Konoha. Yes. Luhan nodded. You said the shadow cat was yours, but it was actually mine. Black Zetsu saw it. Sarutobi Hiruzen would definitely know that if Sarutobi Hiruzen really regarded me as an enemy, he would have thought that we were already in the dark. Cooperate, and he has enough reason to do it to you, because you did kill some Konoha ninjas for the sake of experimentation. Quote. Orochimaru squinted slightly, and there was a dangerous light in his long and narrow eyes, with murderous aura. Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely treat you as an enemy, Orochimaru said with absolute certainty. Chapter 0948 because he is fake. Orochimaru said with great certainty, but Luhan didn't think so. Sarutobi Hiruzen did everything for his own interests. His interests included protecting Konoha and maintaining his own rule over Konoha. The former was more important than the latter. If Luhan can disregard the past, then Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely not regard Luhan as an enemy. Because he is getting old, Luhan is more qualified to become the next generation of Hokage than Namikaze Minato. The reason why Orochimaru emphasized that Sarutobi Hiruzen would treat Luhan as an enemy was simply because he hoped that Luhan would be hostile to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Orochimaru himself has committed an unforgivable sin, and he knows that he has no way out, sooner or later. He hoped that Luhan would always be in the same camp with him. Nobody is a fool. What should we do? Orochimaru asked coldly. I want to kill Uchiha Madara first. Luhan said. He didn't say whether he would take action against Sarutobi Hiruzen in the future. We can win over some people and divide Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen's rule over Konoha is based on the allegiance of the clan chiefs to him, and he cannot control everyone. Orochimaru said quickly, the two major clans, the Hyuga chief Hyugahiyashi and the Uchiha chief Uchiha Fugaku, all his loyal. However, Uchiha Fugaku did not form enough control over the Uchiha clan. It was the elders who really controlled the Uchiha clan. If you go to win over the Uchiha clan on the condition that you cultivate the Uchiha clan as the first big clan, those Uchiha clan elders will definitely be on your side. They have long been dissatisfied with Sarutobi Hiruzen, because Sarutobi Hiruzen put the Hyuga clan in a higher position. Location. Quote. As long as the Uchiha clan moves towards us, a large part of the small and medium-sized clans that are vassals of the Uchiha clan will move closer to us. In this way, we have the capital to fight against Sarutobi Hiruzen, and we can even directly exert pressure on him, using the unfavorable war as an excuse. Reason, forcing him to abdicate. Sarutobi Hiruzen will not watch Konoha fall apart, and that is his weakness. Quote. Orochimaru is really anxious. He doesn't want to be missing Nin. And he ruined Sarutobi Hiruzen. The possibility of Sarutobi Hiruzen taking him is very high. He knows Sarutobi Hiruzen's character too well. Luhan glanced at Orochimaru and thought silently. In fact, Orochimaru's worry is justified. In the original work, Sarutobi Hiruzen was mad at Orochimaru after confirming that Orochimaru killed Konoha ninjas indiscriminately and learned the forbidden technique. It's not the time yet, don't be in a hurry. Luhan was simply dealing with Orochimaru, and added, for the time being, Sarutobi Hiruzen won't touch you. He will definitely question you face to face, and even if he wants to do it, it must be after you go back. Seize the opportunity to round up you directly. You are outside, it is impossible for him to directly declare that you are missing Nin, then he will lose the opportunity to catch you. Quote. I understand. Orochimaru nodded. I have a mission for you. I need you to go back to Konoha once. Sneak in, go back, bring one out for me. Who? Uchiha Makoto. She's very dangerous now, although Sarutobi Hiruzen won't touch her for a while, but it won't be for a long time. Since being discovered by Black Zetsu that day, Luhan has thought of various consequences. He thought of Orochimaru's crisis, and also thought of Uchiha Makoto. Or because of the Shadow Cat, Sarutobi Hiruzen must have thought that since cats are cold light, then Orochimaru is secretly linked with cold light, and Uchiha Makoto must be too. About Luhan and Makoto have been circulating for many years, so it is very natural to think so. However, even if Sarutobi Hiruzen had an idea, he wouldn't move Uchiha Makoto right away. Because he is hypocritical. If it was Hanzo, Makoto could be dead now. But Sarutobi Hiruzen is different. He will think about the necessity of moving Makoto, will think about the consequences, what reasons to arrest Makoto. He can catch Orochimaru because Orochimaru is indeed black, but Makoto is not. Sarutobi Hiruzen has no reason. If he took the initiative to frame Uchiha Makoto, Luhan would think, Orochimaru would think, Konoha executives would also notice that Sarutobi Hiruzen is untenable in terms of righteousness, and this stain may even destroy the great image he has built for a long time. Senju clan he killed was declining in order to create war machines and to win the war. This is righteousness. He planned to kill Uchiha Leiyang and others because Uchiha Leiyang was against him, and he killed him in order to maintain Konoha's stability. This is also a righteousness. Sarutobi Hiruzen was responsible for the death of White Fang, but Sarutobi Hiruzen did not design to frame White Fang. White Fang failed in the mission, and he was also responsible. He couldn't bear the pressure and committed suicide. But this time is different. If Sarutobi Hiruzen dares to touch Uchiha Makoto, he can't come up with any valid reason. Once the matter is exposed, he will be lost for fame. So, Makoto is safe for now. Actually, Luhan had thought about going to Konoha to bring Makoto out in person, but he couldn't get away from here. He couldn't leave Tsunade here. It was too dangerous, and he had to wait for Orochimaru to come back. If he missed Orochimaru, I didn't know the situation, so I went directly back to Konoha, then he was really in danger. After you take out Uchiha Makoto, take her directly to Kumogakure village. the land of thunder, and we will wait for you at Kumogakure village. Lu Han ordered again. Okay. Orochimaru nodded without hesitation. If Makoto is really targeted by Sarutobi Hiruzen, Anbu will definitely be watching it all day, but taking Makoto away from Konoha with Orochimaru's strength is not a problem, it just needs more time. 3 days later, somewhere in the ninja world, an underground cave. The blue-gray rectangular stone platform, White Zetsu lay calmly, with his eyes closed. Uchiha Madara stood aside, his hands lit up. The most critical moment has come. Uchiha Madara is using the power of yin and yang to force the Senju Hashirama cells. Fusion with White Zetsu. Time passed by minute. Finally, Uchiha Madara took his hand away and White Zetsu opened his eyes. Mission: go to the land of thunder and look for Uzumaki Kushina. The hoarse and low voice echoed in the dark cave. Chapter 0949_so important. Konoha Hidden Village, noon. A house hidden in the depths of the woods, in front of the wooden house. Uchiha Makoto was sitting on the rocking chair in casual clothes, holding the little black cat in her arms. She looked unhappy, her face was very lost, and she looked lonely. She hadn't gone out for many days, and even the daily grocery shopping was a little black. Cat do it. Since leaving the Uchiha clan, those clansmen who were friendly to Uchiha Makoto have also cut off contact with her, and even Uchiha Kaien has never seen her. She has a bad reputation, these people alienate her, and she has no friends. In fact, Makoto didn't care about that, because that person came back, but he left not long after he came back. Originally Orochimaru often came to see her, and even gave guidance to her to practice, but Orochimaru has been gone for many days. Makoto's heart was already beginning to suffer. True loneliness, for a human being, is a very scary thing. Moreover, in recent days, Makoto always feels that she is being watched, which makes her very uneasy. She knows that Orochimaru is going to the country of Vortex to save Tsunade. Orochimaru told her before leaving, and Hangwang is also there. Meow, I'm going on a mission. The little black cat said suddenly and got up. Makoto smiled, stroked the little black cat's fur, and said softly, go. The little black cat jumped out and quickly left the yard. Makoto turned his head to look, the smile on his face gradually disappeared, his eyes seemed to have lost his vigor, he tilted his head for a while, then slowly closed his eyes and fell asleep. When Makoto woke up again, it was dark and it was cold outside. She was a little tired, so she got up and moved around a bit, then went back to the house and started cooking. She has only been cooking very little food recently, some of which she eats by herself, and some of which are from the little black cat. In the kitchen, Makoto was washing dishes, and it was getting darker and darker outside. Follow me. A cold voice came suddenly behind Makoto. Makoto was startled and turned around quickly, his sleeve slipping out of the kunaiko's grip, and then he relaxed again. It's Orochimaru. Orochimaru-sama, you are back. Makoto said. Follow me, I'll take you to see the cold light. Orochimaru spoke quickly, we only have 2 minutes, and the Anbu changing of the guard will be completed soon. What? Makoto was taken aback. Explain to you on the way. Orochimaru interrupted Makoto, really running out of time. He returned to Konoha this morning, sneaked in secretly, and observed for a day before finding a chance to take Makoto. Makoto was stunned for a second, and then quickly took off her apron. She was also a ninja, so she naturally concluded that something had happened. It was right to go with Orochimaru. Lu Han had entrusted Makoto to Orochimaru for protection. Although Makoto did not trust Orochimaru, but she believed Lu Han's arrangement. Follow me, Orochimaru said, turning into a shadow and jumping out of the window. Makoto followed, she was Jonin, so she was not slow. Both of them jumped out of the window and rolled on the spot, then dodged to the wall and moved quickly against the wall. Orochimaru suddenly grabbed Makoto's shoulders and led her into the woods behind the house at super speed. Dive with extreme speed. Because of the sky, the light in the woods was very dim, and Orochimaru was like a ghost with Makoto. "Yeah, my cat, Orochimaru-sama, I can't leave her behind," Makoto said suddenly, very anxious. "I've seen it, it's waiting for us outside the village now," Orochimaru whispered. Orochimaru is a Super S-rank ninja with extremely rich mission experience. Such a simple task, he naturally will not have any omissions. Makoto regards the little black cat as his closest relative, and Orochimaru knows it. The little black cat can move freely in Konoha, and no one monitors the little black cat. Orochimaru has secretly seen the little black cat in the afternoon, and it is very easy. The forest behind the house is not small, but Orochimaru is extremely fast, and he and Makoto are about to leave the forest and enter a residential area. Sudden. Kai _. The sound of breaking through the air suddenly sounded, and a kunai flashed from the slanting thorn. Orochimaru's heart sank, and he stopped abruptly. That Kuwu didn't shoot him, but stopped him, flew right in front of his face, and nailed it to a tree in the distance. Quiet. Dark woods. The wind was moving, only the rustling of leaves. Orochimaru glanced around cautiously. "Lord Orochimaru, where do you want to go? In such a hurry?" A strange voice suddenly sounded, full of femininity, but it was a male voice. At the same time, the speaker came out from behind the big tree diagonally in front of Orochimaru. A thin and small ninja, dressed in Anbu costume and wearing a mask, his breath is a bit colder than Orochimaru. Konoha Anbu Root Organization Leader, Musashi. Orochimaru was shocked. That he realized that it was not the ordinary Anbu ninja who was monitoring Uchiha Makoto, but a special existence in Anbu, the Root Dead Man. Although the Root organization is established within Anbu, it exists independently. The leader of the Root is only under the orders of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and the captain of Anbu has no jurisdiction. However, to the outside world, there is no difference between the Root and the Anbu, and they are both called Anbu. Sarutobi Hiruzen is so serious about Uchiha Makoto. Let Root spy on her. Something weird. It should not be taken seriously to this extent. If you don't want to die, get out, Orochimaru said coldly. Wow, that's scary, Musashi said mockingly. Do you want to die? Orochimaru squinted. Murderous. Musashi is not his opponent at all. Although he is very strong, as far as Orochimaru knows, what makes Musashi special is some strange abilities. Compared with his fighting strength, Orochimaru can kill him with one hand. You really want to kill me, you really have nothing to fear. Musashi's voice sank, he could feel the true killing intent in Orochimaru's heart. After a pause, he took a step back, raised his hand and waved a welcome posture, no send. Orochimaru took Uchiha Makoto into a shadow and left quickly. Musashi looked at Orochimaru's back, which quickly disappeared and disappeared. His eyes under the mask shone like a venomous snake. He took out a bamboo tube from his arms and pulled off the top cover. Boom! A ray of fire burst from the bamboo tube, and the line of fire flew to a height of 100 meters, bursting with a bang. Colorful Madara fireworks are in full bloom in the sky. Chapter 0950-Kill Me. It was only night, and the lights in Konoha village were the busiest. Colorful Madara fireworks are shining in the sky. Many people have seen it, but they don't think anything is wrong. It's just fireworks. Every day in Konoha, people set off fireworks, or celebrate birthdays, or men pursue women, or some festivals. Konoha, with a population of tens of thousands, setting off fireworks is a very common thing. Only a few people know that this is Konoha Anbu's pursuit signal. Sarutobi Hiruzen once explained to Musashi that if Orochimaru came back, he wanted to escape from Konoha and catch him, but he could only act in secret and never make things bigger. Anbu plus the Root organization, at least hundreds of senior ninjas saw the signal, and at the same time gave up the current mission, and quickly approached the position where the signal was sent. Although many of them did not know who the enemy was, this did not prevent them from gathering in the woods. After Musashi finished sending the signal, he stared at the direction where Orochimaru disappeared. Suddenly, his body shrank, turned into a shadow, and quickly approached Orochimaru. Whoosh! Musashi let out a strange whistle. This is the positioning whistle, and the Anbu ninja who came over will use this whistle to determine the location of Musashi, and as long as Musashi follows Orochimaru, it will not take long for Orochimaru to be surrounded. No matter how strong Orochimaru is, it is impossible to fight against the entire Anbu, and if they really fight, it will not benefit Orochimaru at all. If it gets too big, Anbu will not be the only one who catches him. Musashi's purpose is not to force Orochimaru to rebel directly, or to besiege him, because according to Sarutobi Hiruzen's order, for the time being, he just wants to talk to him. Orochimaru took Uchiha Makoto to move very fast, because he had been discovered by Musashi. He had no scruples, did not hide, took the nearest road, and went straight to the outside of the village. Orochimaru is worried. He didn't care about Anbu. Without Sarutobi Hiruzen's direct order, Anbu didn't dare to do anything to him. He didn't kill anyone. He was worried that it was Sarutobi Hiruzen himself. If Sarutobi Hiruzen came over in person, Orochimaru's chances of escaping would be very low. In the downtown area, in the bustling restaurant high-rise, Hatake Taishuo was wearing a ninja suit and no mask, sitting by the window in the box, eating alone. 10 years later, since his teacher Han Guang died, Hatake Taishuo has become withdrawn, but he still has a close friend, White Fang. But White Fang also died 7 years ago. After that, Hatake Taishuo was promoted to Captain Anbu. His friends became less and less. Today, even those ninjas who were members of the S group are no longer Hatake Taishuo's friend. Eating, there are still people accompanying him when he is stationed in Anbu, but if he is outside, Hatake Taishuo is always alone. Hatake Taishuo suddenly raised his head and frowned and looked out the window. In the distance, beautiful fireworks are blooming. Although it was very far away, the fireworks were so bright that Hatake Taishuo could see clearly. This is the highest level Anbu chase signal. Hatake Taishuo, who is the captain of Anbu, only Musashi is left with the right to release this signal. Hatake Taishuo's eyes turned cold. He dropped his chopsticks, picked up the mask on the corner of the table, put it on, and disappeared. After a few minutes, in the residential area in the northwest of Konoha village, Hatake Taishuo was walking quickly through the woods. The ground suddenly shook, and a deafening roar sounded almost at the same time. Hatake Taishuo was startled and jumped on the branch 20 meters above the tree. Look into the distance. 200 meters in front of him was billowing with smoke and dust, and the neighing of snakes could still be faintly heard. Because it was already dark and the smoke and dust were added, Hatake Taishuo could not see the situation in front of him clearly. What's going on? Hatake Taishuo frowned. He could already feel Orochimaru's breath, but, as Anbu's captain, he didn't know that this action was aimed at Orochimaru. Ahead, the abandoned residential area. 2 or 3 adjacent houses have been destroyed. There is a large pit on the ground with a diameter of tens of meters. Hundreds of large white pythons more than 10 meters long are scattered around the pit, spitting letters at the surrounding, staring at the orangutan. Yuhi's eyes made a threatening sound. On the surrounding trees, walls, and ruins of houses, there were about 40 Anbu ninjas, half of whom were root, and more Anbu ninjas didn't come. Orochimaru, you really dare to do it? Musashi, standing on the tree, said grimly. Hey! Orochimaru took Uchiha Makoto to stand in the middle of the snake group, and while sneering, glanced around. He made a move and made a big move, but he didn't kill anyone. He knew very well that shocking and deterring was more beneficial to him than killing. Death to those who block me! Orochimaru roared coldly, then took Makoto and turned into a shadow, breaking through to the northwest. The group of snakes also moved at this moment. They didn't attack anyone, but they all wandered and raised their triangular heads, forming a counter-encirclement block to those Anbu ninjas. The Anbu ninja hesitated, they didn't know why they wanted to capture Orochimaru. And it was Musashi who ordered. Musashi is the leader of the route, not the captain of Anbu. Normally, Musashi can also command the Anbu ninja mission, but if the target is Orochimaru, then there is a problem. Orochimaru is Sarutobi Hiruzen's most valued direct disciple and a strong contender for the next generation of Hokage. If Orochimaru had just killed someone, Anbu ninja would naturally not hesitate, not to mention what Orochimaru did before. Killing Anbu ninja was a crime, but Orochimaru didn't kill, just shocked. Orochimaru's breakout is very smooth. Only a dozen or so root ninjas started immediately, but they were temporarily stopped by the group of snakes, and Orochimaru got away calmly. Go, what are you waiting for? Musashi shouted coldly to the hesitant Anbu ninjas. At this time, call. Hatake Teishuo appeared beside Musashi like a ghost, standing on the same branch. Hatake Teishuo glanced at Musashi and asked hoarsely, "What's going on?" Orochimaru is suspected of assassinating 46 Konoha residents. I am under the order of Hokage-sama to carry out the arrest mission. Yeah, Hatake Teishuo responded with a nasal voice, looked in the direction Orochimaru was leaving, and ran after him. Chapter 0951 Kurigakure Blade. Anbu Captain Hatake Teishuo, codenamed Wu Feng, is 41 years old, in his prime, and he is the strongest ninja in Konoha Anbu. Konoha swordsmanship is the strongest. The overall strength is also the top 5 horror existences in Konoha, second only to Sarutobi Hiruzen and Namikaze Minato, and equal to Jiraiya and Orochimaru. His strength is no less than Orochimaru. But it's not necessarily that they can beat Orochimaru. Their strength has reached their level. Because the gap is too small, it is not only the strength itself that determines the outcome of the battle, but also the mood, thoughts, state, and even whether you have enough to eat. One of the determining factors. Hatake Teishuo is good at speed. Orochimaru escaped from Konoha with Makoto. Fortunately, although he was found, only Anbu was chasing him. The village was not blocked, and he didn't know what Sarutobi Hiruzen was thinking, and he didn't seem to want to make a big deal. Anbu and the ninjas of the root organization are all chasing Orochimaru. Hatake Teishuo is the fastest. Although he has encountered the big python many times, he is not affected much. 10 kilometers from the village. There are fewer and fewer ninjas following Orochimaru, because they can't keep up. Orochimaru is too fast, most of the Anbu ninjas are thrown away, and only a few who are good at speed and strong enough still follow. Hatake Teishuo is getting closer and closer to Orochimaru. If it weren't for the darkness, coupled with Orochimaru's strong escape ability, strange methods, and always putting snakes to stop him, Hatake Teishuo would have caught up long ago. However, in terms of speed, Hatake Teishuo is not as good as the White Fang of the Year, let alone Han Guang. Hatake Teishuo's strength lies in his quick knife. He wields his knife fast, and the rhythm of battle is outrageous, but his ability to chase and escape is also strong, but not to the level of pervert. White Fang in speed and sword skills. White Fang relies on the speed of his body to quickly approach the enemy to form a sharp knife, while Hatake Teishuo can cut hundreds or thousands of knives in a second in melee combat, and the speed is different. 15 kilometers northwest of Konoha village. Running here, even Musashi was thrown away. Compared with Orochimaru and Hatake Teishuo, Musashi's strength is very different. The main reason is that the latter two are too strong. He was able to move at super high speed before, which is a secret technique. He can't maintain the high-speed movement of the secret technique for a long time. Gradually, Hatake Teishuo was the only one who was chasing Orochimaru. Orochimaru can't get rid of Hatake Teishuo at all. Moreover, he has been trying to block Hatake Teishuo's pursuit with various secret techniques, so he was not really caught up, but he couldn't get rid of it. As long as this situation lasts for a long time, Orochimaru consumes more chakra, and he was caught up by Hatake Teishuo. In the dark forest, the wind is howling, the leaves are rustling. Orochimaru fled with extreme speed with Uchiha Makoto. Cat, my cat. Makoto thought of the little black cat again. No matter how urgent the situation was, she couldn't let it go. Shut up. Orochimaru snorted coldly. He wouldn't care about that little black cat. He really couldn't be stopped by Hatake Teishuo. Orochimaru was not sure of defeating Hatake Teishuo. Although he was confident that he would not lose, if he was dragged by Hatake Teishuo, there would be more Anbu ninjas come, and maybe even Sarutobi Hiruzen himself. So getting rid of Hatake Teishuo is the key. If you don't get rid of it, Orochimaru may not be able to leave today. Orochimaru, you let go of Uchiha Makoto. You must know that Anbu doesn't accept hostage threats. If it's a man, let it go. Hatake Teishuo, who was chasing after him, suddenly shouted. Orochimaru was taken aback. Hatake Teishuo actually thought that Uchiha Makoto was being held hostage. After thinking about it, Orochimaru understood again. It should be Sarutobi Hiruzen who directly handed the task to Musashi, and let the root organization take charge. Hatake Teishuo did not know the specific situation of Akatsuki's task. Weird. Orochimaru felt that something was wrong, but he didn't immediately think of what was wrong. Master Wufang, I'm not being held hostage, stop chasing. Uchiha Makoto suddenly responded to Hatake Teishuo loudly. Huh, Hatake Teishuo frowned suddenly. Orochimaru, who was running wildly, took Makoto in one hand, and suddenly flicked the other hand, and the chain of curse seals flew out of his sleeve and hit the ground. He quickly ran away, and Hatake Teishuo also chased after him. Boom _. The ground exploded and black light shone, forming a black screen that could obscure people's sight. Dozens of curse marks rushed out of the ground like snakes, and slammed towards Hatake Teishuo. To his life, but at least temporarily seal his chakra flow speed, he must go back to the village, find someone to unlock the seal. Hatake Teishuo's reaction was extremely fast, his waist twisted, and the sword light was like rain. Yingbai's sword light rain destroyed everything around him. Hatake Teishuo was only 2 steps behind before breaking through this trap and continuing to chase Orochimaru. He is a pure ninja of taijutsu and swordsmanship. The master has very little ninjutsu. For all kinds of strange attacks, he has only one solution, to break it with the sword. Carrying an incomparably huge chakra impact with the knife light, because all kinds of techniques are composed of chakra, as long as his chakra impact is strong enough, it is enough to shatter the opponent in essence. In fact, Hatake Teishuo has gone out of his way. Although he inherited it from Hangguang, Hangguang switched to using the Sword of Astonishment as his main weapon in the Middle and Late World War II, which was a great sword, while Hatake Teishuo used a sickle. 20 kilometers northwest of Konoha village. Hatake Teishuo finally got close to Orochimaru within 100 meters. At this distance, as long as Orochimaru paused a little, Hatake Teishuo ran wild and could catch up with one breath. Hatake Teishuo raised the sickle in his hand and injected chakra into it. The fog is rising. With Hatake Teishuo as the center, it quickly spread to the surroundings, and after a few breaths, Orochimaru in front was also engulfed by the thick fog. Blade of the damn Kurigakure. Orochimaru's face changed, and his speed dropped sharply. He couldn't see the road clearly, and if he kept going at extreme speed, he would hit a tree. Hatake Teishuo seized the opportunity, flashed in front of Orochimaru, and slashed out. Orochimaru's back is cold, dodge and hide. Immediately afterwards, he realized that Hatake Teishuo did not do his best, but just wanted to interfere with him and stop him. Hatake Teishuo appeared right in front of Orochimaru. Chapter 0952_understand. Was stopped. The distance is too close. Orochimaru is still carrying a person. It is very difficult to get away. With Hatake Teishuo's strength, it is not a problem to fight with him all day and night. Don't follow me. Orochimaru snorted coldly, clasping Uchiha Makoto's neck with one hand. Thick fog did not dissipate, but the central area spread out a little, so Orochimaru could see Hatake Teishuo, and it was the thick fog of the nature of ninjutsu that could affect the sight of the ninja, not the night. Anbu does not accept hostage threats. Hataki Taishuo said hoarsely. He glanced at Uchiha Makoto. Makoto had said before that he was not being held hostage, but now Orochimaru is holding her hostage again, taking her as a threat. Which one is true? Is she a hostage? It is possible. Although she said before that she was not being held hostage, it was likely that Orochimaru forced her to control her. However, none of this matters. Anbu, or Hataki Taishuo himself, really does not accept hostage threats. He is known as Konoha's most ruthless Captain Anbu ever, not just talking. If you don't accept it, then you do it. You try. Orochimaru grinned, his eyes flashing dangerously. Hataki Taishuo's eyes swept to Uchiha Makoto's face again. He used to protect Uchiha Makoto because of the cold light, but now. Orochimaru, why are you obsessed? Come back with me, you are the most important direct disciple of Lord Hokage. As long as you admit your mistake, many people will protect you. Are you afraid? You hesitated, why didn't you do it? Why do you? It's just killing some people. Lord Hokage won't really kill you. It can't be done. Or he won't just let us Anbu do it, and you won't be able to escape Konoha. Murder. Orochimaru was taken aback. No. Hataki Taishuo chased after Orochimaru murder. But Orochimaru knows that killing is only an excuse. Sarutobi Hiruzen has no conclusive evidence at all. The real reason is because Orochimaru secretly colluded with Han Guang. Hataki Taishuo doesn't know the real reason. Was monitoring Uchiha Makoto before, that is to say, the root leader Musashi was really responsible for the task. Hataki Taishuo may really not know the real reason. Hataki Taishuo has betrayed Han Guang. Why didn't Sarutobi Hiruzen tell his number one confidant? Are you worthy of your teacher for doing this? Orochimaru said suddenly, a glint in his eyes. Teacher. Hataki Taishuo muttered in a low voice, then glanced at Uchiha Makoto again. How much does it have to do with my teacher? She is not my wife. Really wrong. Hataki Taishuo completely misunderstood the meaning of Orochimaru. Teacher. Are you embarrassed to mention your sister? Orochimaru choked out. Tsunade was in danger in the country of Vortex not long ago. I asked you to send more manpower to support you, but you didn't agree. Also ask Sarutobi Hiruzen. You even got a few scoldings. I dare not bear the consequences, ha. It's ridiculous. Quote. I have a clear conscience. Hataki Taishuo said coldly, again. You dare to say that you have a clear conscience? You really dare to say that? Orochimaru became very excited. Of course he pretended. He wanted to use Hataki Taishuo's words. You. Do you remember how Lord White Fang died? Hataki Taishuo suddenly interrupted Orochimaru. His heart was already restless. Of course, we all know, don't we? Orochimaru stared at Hataki Taishuo. I don't want to go the old way of Lord White Fang. I don't want to. Hataki Taishuo said seriously. Orochimaru froze slightly. His eyes flickered twice before he understood what Hataki Taishuo meant, and grinned mockingly. You mean, you're afraid that you will mobilize Anbu Ninja privately, Sarutobi Hiruzen will not trust him? Are you afraid of losing his trust? Quote. Hataki Taishuo paused before admitting. Ha, ha ha, you are so funny. Orochimaru had an unnatural Yuhi look on his face, and he spoke quickly. You are so loyal to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Afraid of losing his trust. Afraid of losing your current power. It's not like that. What's not? It's not. Dare you say no? You clearly know that Sarutobi Hiruzen is working with your teacher's enemy. You know that Sarutobi Hiruzen has been assassinating your teacher's loyalists all the time, and you are still loyal to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Not to mention the second, ha ha ha, what a clear conscience. Where's your face? You ungrateful villain. If it wasn't for Han Guang to teach you back then, how would you be today? You would have died in the war long ago. Look at the knife in your hand. Who gave it to you? Who? You have a clear conscience. Ha 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 ha. Orochimaru laughed angrily. as if he was so saddened by Lu Hanming's grievance that he was finally venting his anger. Hatake Taishuo's hand holding the blade of Kurigakure clenched subconsciously, his knuckles turned white, and he looked at Orochimaru with cold eyes, motionless. Just watched Orochimaru laughing. He didn't speak until Orochimaru finished laughing. I have troubles. What trouble do you have? Put away your disgusting remarks. You have been with Sarutobi Hiruzen for so long, even the hypocrisy is exactly the same as him. I have troubles. What's the trouble? Tell me. Can you say it? Really? Why did you betray your teacher? Why did you give your life to Sarutobi Hiruzen? Why? Orochimaru stared at Hatake Taishuo, waiting for his answer. Hatake Taishuo and Orochimaru looked at each other. Silence. It seemed that even the wind had stopped. The two looked at each other, never leaving, watching. Lord Hokage's cooperation with Uchiha Madara is just an expedient measure. Hatake Taishuo's hand trembled while holding the knife, and his voice became darker. He will definitely find an opportunity to have face-to-face contact with Uchiha Madara. He was imprisoned by Uchiha Madara for 2 years. Uchiha Madara is the scourge of the ninja world. Lord Hokage will take revenge. He will kill Uchiha Madara both in public and private. He promised me, after finding Uchiha Madara, he will give me the opportunity to kill Uchiha Madara with his own hands. I'm going to kill Uchiha Madara. I want to avenge the teacher. Understood. Hatake Taishuo's body was tense, he was shaking, staring at Orochimaru with bloodshot eyes. Chapter 0953_surprise. Frightened. The night is thick, and the moon is tipped. Hatake Taishuo was very excited. Although he tried his best to suppress his emotions, Orochimaru could still see it, otherwise he would not have been able to tell this secret, a secret that only he and Sarutobi Hiruzen knew. It's a secret and a promise. Orochimaru doesn't feel that Sarutobi Hiruzen deceived Hatake Taishuo, because Sarutobi Hiruzen is really that kind of person. Although he is working with Uchiha Madara now, he will definitely kill Uchiha Madara whenever he has the chance. Because Uchiha Madara is a very unstable scourge. So, Sarutobi Hiruzen is telling the truth. If possible, he will give Hatake Taishuo the chance to kill Uchiha Madara with his own hands. Orochimaru believes that Sarutobi Hiruzen is such a person. Hatake Taishuo also believes in Sarutobi Hiruzen's promise. This is the reason for his allegiance to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Everything makes sense. At that time, he didn't help Tsunade because he was afraid of losing Sarutobi Hiruzen's trust, because saving Tsunade was no more important than revenge for Han Guang. Ha, so it is. It is so. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Orochimaru suddenly laughed. Am I funny? Hatake Taishuo tilted his head slightly, Sen coldly asked. No, it's not you, but Sarutobi Hiruzen, ha ha ha, no wonder you don't know the real reason why Sarutobi Hiruzen arrested me. No wonder Uchiha Makoto is a root ninja, not your Anbu ninja, no wonder, ha ha. He's hiding it from you. That's how it is. Orochimaru spoke very quickly, laughing harshly. He finally understands. Hatake Taishuo didn't even know about Han Guang's resurrection. Sarutobi Hiruzen was hiding it from him. In this way, all kinds of abnormal before, it all makes sense. Example, why is the root organization ninja spying on Uchiha Makoto? It's not that Sarutobi Hiruzen really takes Uchiha Makoto so seriously, but because this matter can't be left to Hatake Taishuo at all. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not dare to tell the truth to Hatake Taishuo at all, because once Hatake Taishuo knew that Han Guang was resurrected, Sarutobi Hiruzen would conflict with Han Guang. Hatake Taishuo would inevitably fall to the latter and follow his teacher instead of continuing to be loyal to Sarutobi Hiruzen. The real reason for arresting you. Hatake Taishuo squinted at Orochimaru. What else is there, and what did you do wrong? It's not that I did anything wrong, it's not me. Orochimaru had a sullen smile on his face. It's because of your teacher, Hengguang. Hatake Taishuo looked at Orochimaru silently. He obviously didn't understand what Orochimaru meant. What does it have to do with cold energy? The teacher has passed away for 10 years. This may be a surprise or a fright for you. Orochimaru let go of the hand that was holding Makoto's neck while speaking. I told you that you may not believe it, but I want to tell you, ha 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 ha. Orochimaru probably laughed more this year than the previous year. Hatake Taishuo frowned suddenly, his eyes flashed, and he swept to Uchiha Makoto. Makoto was released, and instead of moving away from Orochimaru, he stood beside Orochimaru. Is she being held hostage? Hatake Taishuo already understood that the two were acting just now. Say something, I'm listening. Hatake Taishuo looked at Orochimaru again. The 15th day of last month was the 10th anniversary of Han Guang's death. Orochimaru stared at Hatake Taishuo. He was resurrected on that day. Konoha Hidden Village, Back Mountain Forest. Black Zetsu stood on the tree. His body was hidden in the shadows, only the sound came from time to time. Sarutobi Hiruzen stood under the tree with his hands behind his back, his expression extremely serious. For the past few days, Sarutobi Hiruzen has been meeting with Black Zetsu almost every day. On the one hand, they exchange information, and on the other hand, they make arrangements for the Cold Light and the Ninja World War. The secret conversation between the two was the longest in the past few days and had lasted for 3 hours. Regarding Han Guang, they have already negotiated the results, and now they are talking about the Ninja World War. Sarutobi Hiruzen is going to win this ninja war. Helping him win the war is the condition offered by Black Zetsu. Uchiha Madara hopes to get Hengguang's life and death art, and also hopes that Hengguang can die in the future. Naturally it would be easier if Sarutobi Hiruzen was willing to cooperate. I will arrange for Kurigakure to contain Kumogakure village, Sunagakure village over there, Jiraiya and Orochimaru wounded Chio. I will reveal to them that Hengguang is resurrected and become Konoha missing nin, prompting them to unite with you Konoha, Iwagakure village over there. I can only say try to mediate as much as possible. After all, this ninja war is what you are fighting. If they still refuse to give up fighting Konoha, then I will push Sunagakure to send troops to Iwagakure. Black Zetsu's hoarse voice in the forest reverberate. What I want is not just for Iwagakure to retreat, but for them to admit defeat. Sarutobi Hiruzen resolutely said. I understand that as long as the alliance between Sunagakure and Konoha can be facilitated, Iwagakure will be defeated. Black Zetsu replied, also, now that Hanzo is dead, and Omegakure village is in civil strife, I will try to control Omegakure village and let Omegakure village fight with you. Iwagakure village. Okay. Then, Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice stopped abruptly and looked back. He felt that someone was approaching here quickly, a familiar atmosphere. He's here, Black Zetsu said, looking in that direction, not hiding. Call. A thin figure emerged from the darkness of the forest and suddenly stopped in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. It's Musashi. Lord Hokage. What's wrong? Orochimaru is back. Oh, Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned, have you caught it? No, let him run away, he took Uchiha Makoto. Musashi quickly said, and they all chased out, but they couldn't keep up with Orochimaru's speed. Only Wufang, he followed, should be able to catch up, but he may not be able to beat Orochimaru. Wufang. Sarutobi Hiruzen's pupils shrank violently, his face changed greatly, and then he became furious. Who told you to notify Wufang? I'll give you this task. Why do you want to notify Wufang? Musashi was taken aback, somewhat confused. You didn't say that you couldn't notify Hatake Taishuo, why can't you? The root organization ability is not enough, let Anbu assist, is this wrong? For the first time, Musashi looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with incomprehensible eyes. He could see that there was real anger in Sarutobi Hiruzen. Why are you angry? Chapter 0954 You're bad. Although Musashi is the leader of the root, he does not know the agreement between Sarutobi Hiruzen and Hatake Taishuo. That really is an unspoken secret. Musashi made a mistake, but it was an unintentional mistake. His task ability is extremely strong, and he strictly follows the task rules. Sarutobi Hiruzen told him to act in secret, so he acted in secret, told him not to make things bigger, and he just informed him Anbu. When the root organization encounters a difficult task, it is customary to ask Anbu to assist in the task. Perhaps it was because Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say it too thoroughly. The so-called secret operation, don't make things too big, meaning that this task can only be done by the most mysterious root organization, and other troops are not allowed to intervene. Musashi didn't fully understand what Sarutobi Hiruzen meant. He can read people's hearts and it's true, but he can only see right and wrong, good and evil, mood swings, that's all, that's not mind reading. Sarutobi Hiruzen was so angry that he seemed to be going crazy, and he didn't know who to blame. He didn't forbid Musashi to ask Anbu to cooperate with the mission at that time. Lord Hokage, you are hiding something from me. Musashi's eyes flickered. Damn it, you've done something wrong. Sarutobi Hiruzen yelled angrily. What's the matter? What's wrong? Black Zetsu on the tree suddenly said. With his wisdom and speed of thinking, he couldn't understand why he couldn't let Hatake Teishuo catch Orochimaru. When Musashi came, he already felt that Black Zetsu was here, and he was not surprised. He knew all about Sarutobi Hiruzen and White Zetsu, Black Zetsu, and Uchiha Madara. Don't let Wufang know about Hengguang's resurrection. Sarutobi Hiruzen bit Kiba. Why not? Didn't he already pledge his allegiance to you? Black Zetsu asked rhetorically. Silent. Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly calmed down, and he realized that he had made a slip of the tongue. Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen, Musashi's eyes flashed, and he was even more puzzled. He saw worry, nervousness, and deceitful thoughts in Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart. Exactly, what's the situation? Sarutobi Hiruzen was about to bite his kiba into pieces. What the hell happened today? Musashi made a mistake, and he made a mistake too. He naturally couldn't tell Black Zetsu that the reason why Hatake Teishuo was loyal to him was that he promised him to find an opportunity to let him kill Uchiha Madara. Revenge for his teacher, Hongguang. And he just made a slip of the tongue, saying that Hatake Teishuo couldn't know that Hongguang was resurrected. He can't explain it now. Originally, he had already designed it to use Hatake Teishuo's strategy to attract cold light, but now it is very likely that he will not be able to use it. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't answer Black Zetsu's question, but looked at Musashi again uncertainly. Lead the way, where did they go? In the dark forest, it has been silent for a while. Orochimaru said that the cold light was resurrected, and Hatake Teishuo looked at Orochimaru, and kept watching without saying a word. You lied to me. Hatake Teishuo's eyes became extremely gloomy. He didn't like anyone using his teacher to play tricks. I knew you wouldn't believe me, this is really unbelievable. Orochimaru had already felt the murderous aura on Hatake Teishuo, but he didn't care. But Hongguang is indeed resurrected. He is still the same as powerful. Oh yes, Hanzo has been killed by Hongguang. Anbu should have received the exact news soon. You should understand, Sarutobi Hiruzen's true attitude towards Hongguang. The real reason he wanted to arrest me is because I secretly united with Hongguang. Remember that purple cat? It's not mine, it's cold. I hate cats so much myself. Now, Sarutobi Hiruzen has concealed the news of Hongguang's resurrection from you. It seems that he has already made a move on Hongguang. Between Uchiha Madara and Hongguang, Sarutobi Hiruzen chose Uchiha Madara because Uchiha Madara can still bring him benefits, and Hongguang. He will seek revenge for Sarutobi Hiruzen. He will threaten Sarutobi Hiruzen's position and seize power. Sarutobi Hiruzen killed Uchiha Liang and White Fang. It is doomed, they can only be enemies. You lied to me. You still don't believe it. You lied to me. He didn't lie to you. Uchiha Makoto couldn't help but say, he is indeed back. He let the shadow. It's the cat, protect me, so the shadow is in trouble. I and Orochimaru, Sama have been in trouble for the past 10 years. Don't you think it's strange that there is no intersection? We suddenly have an intersection. It's because of the cold light. Hatake Taishuo turned to stare at Uchiha Makoto, as if trying to see the flaw in her expression. Meow. A small black shadow suddenly emerged from the darkness and jumped directly onto Uchiha Makoto's shoulders. Looking very tired, he fell down. It had been waiting for Orochimaru and Uchiha Makoto outside the village, and when it saw Orochimaru and Makoto leaving quickly, it chased, and only now has it come here. The little black cat came back to Makoto. Makoto tilted his head and glanced at it, then smiled, then withdrew his smile and looked at Hatake Taishuo, raised his hand and pointed at the little black cat. It also knows. What? The little black cat hasn't figured out what's going on here. The situation of Hangwang, Orochimaru said, looking at Hatake Taishuo. Tell him. The little black cat looked at a few people and understood, and said, Lord Hangwang has come back to life, and he stayed with us for a while. He only left at the end of last month and went to look for Lord Tsunade. Orochimaru confirmed. Uchiha Makoto confirmed. Little black cat confirmed. Hatake Taishuo glanced back and forth, and his heart was full of storms. Really? Fake. He naturally hoped it was true, but he suspected that it was Orochimaru's conspiracy, that Orochimaru was just making up a story and trying to get away. No, Hatake Taishuo suddenly said. He found the problem, Orochimaru. You can't lie to me. Assuming that my teacher is really resurrected, and Lord Hokage is hostile to my teacher, then, as Lord Hokage's most valued direct disciple, how can you help my teacher? Aren't you standing with Hokage-sama? Because I really killed Konoha's people. Orochimaru answered the question immediately, looking at Hatake Taishuo with a sneering smile. Sarutobi Hiruzen has been checking me. With his hypocritical character, even though I have suffered countless lives and deaths for Konoha, hundreds of battles were made, and he would kill me too, and he wanted to prove to others that he was competent. His justice, his greatness. Chapter 0955 Let him run. To the northwest of Konoha village, there is a vast forest. Sarutobi Hiruzen, with the breath of futon wind-style chakra wafting through his body, stooped through the forest quickly. Musashi was behind him, closely following Sarutobi Hiruzen's footsteps, but was thrown farther and gradually couldn't keep up. Sarutobi Hiruzen no longer needs Musashi to lead the way, because Orochimaru and Hatake Taishuo have fought many times along the way, leaving some traces. Damn it! Sarutobi Hiruzen was very impatient, and went berserk. He wishes he could catch up. It is best that Hatake Taishuo is still entangled with Orochimaru. The two have not had a detailed dialogue. As long as Orochimaru has not said anything about the resurrection of Hangwang, there is a chance to recover. Hatake Taishuo's current role is by no means weaker than the White Fang's role in Sarutobi Hiruzen back then. Moreover, Hatake Taishuo knows too many secrets of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Once Hatake Taishuo rebels, it will have a terrifying blow to Sarutobi Hiruzen and Konoha. I know, it's hard for you to believe, no matter how much evidence there is, unless Hangwang can appear in front of you in person, you will still doubt it. Orochimaru stared at Hatake Taishuo. I said this to you today. I didn't intend to make you really believe it, I just told you the truth. You lied to me together. Are you trying to get me out of the way? Hatake Taishuo interrupted Orochimaru. Us. You said we too. What's wrong with Uchiha Makoto? Do you know? Why did you arrest Uchiha Makoto? Orochimaru asked back. Hatake Taishuo at once. Yes, what's wrong with Uchiha Makoto? You can catch me, I did kill someone, but let Makoto go first. She didn't do anything wrong. Orochimaru grinned. He is attracting Hatake Taishuo to think, what did Uchiha Makoto do wrong? Why did Makoto voluntarily leave Orochimaru, and why did the root organization monitor her? Something is going on here. There is a secret that Hatake Taishuo doesn't know. Hatake Taishuo has already felt it, and there is indeed an inside story, so Is what Orochimaru said true or false? Actually, it's very simple for you to confirm whether Hangwang is resurrected. First, you go to Haoshan Forest to monitor Hangwang's tomb and see if the body is still there. Second, you can go to Kumogakure village, the land of thunder, where Hangwang is. After he found Tsunade and others in the country of Vortex, he went to Kumogakure village. As you said, I just killed people. Is it a big sin? You don't think it's a big deal, and I don't think it's a big deal, so is it necessary for me to make up such a complicated lie to you? Think about it, you give way or we fight. Sarutobi Hiruzen is going to kill your teacher now. Are you really going to work for him? Hatake Taishuo was silent, clenching the handle of the Kurigakure blade. Letter, or not believe. If Orochimaru said these words alone, Hatake Taishuo would definitely not believe it, but Uchiha Makoto, who had a crush on his teacher, also confirmed it, which is different. Oh yes, remember the robbery of White Fang's tomb? Orochimaru said again. Hatake Taishuo frowned when his thoughts were interrupted. Hangwang did it. Orochimaru grinned. He is not disrespectful to White Fang. White Fang is his best friend. He stole White Fang's body in order to revive White Fang. Do you believe it? Hatake Taishuo's body trembled. A lot of weird things have happened recently, such as the theft of White Fang's tomb. Orochimaru has a space-time ninja cat. Orochimaru has a special relationship with Uchiha Makoto. Uchiha Makoto is being watched. These abnormal things can be explained by Orochimaru. This doesn't fit Orochimaru's character. If it wasn't necessary, Orochimaru wouldn't do such nonsense at all, hit him if he wanted to. Orochimaru was never afraid of fighting, but he didn't just say it, he said it in great detail. Hatake Taishuo's body trembled slightly. Really? Is that true? Orochimaru suddenly looked at Uchiha Makoto, grabbed Uchiha Makoto's shoulders, turned into a shadow, and quickly left to the north. Orochimaru is impatient, and if he drags on, whether Hatake Taishuo believes it or not, Sarutobi Hiruzen may come over. He wants to force Hatake Taishuo to make a decision. To fight or not to fight. Hatake Taishuo was stunned for a moment, then turned his head to look in the direction Orochimaru was leaving. Because of his momentary hesitation, he had missed the best chance to stop Orochimaru. Of course, he could still chase now, but it was nothing more than another chase and spat. He didn't move. He didn't fully trust Orochimaru either. He planned to go back and check. Compared to the resurrection of the teacher, Orochimaru just killed some people, some unimportant people, just trivial things. After a few minutes. In the vast forest under the night, the wind is endless. Hatake Taishuo was rushing towards Konoha village, while Sarutobi Hiruzen was chasing after the trail. Two winds approached quickly, and the two met unexpectedly. Looking at each other, they all stopped. Lord Hokage. What about people? Let him run away. You can't catch up with him. Almost. Hatake Taishuo's voice was calm, as cold as ever. Sarutobi Hiruzen stared into Hatake Taishuo's eyes. He wanted to see the flaw, but he couldn't. As Anbu's captain, if Hatake Taishuo could easily make people see the flaw, then he would have committed suicide. Unfortunately, Musashi did not follow, so Sarutobi Hiruzen was not sure whether Hatake Taishuo was telling the truth or a lie. 2 days later, on a sunny morning, the southern seaport of the Land of Thunder. The seaboat slowly docked, dressed up as mysterious Luhan, Tsunade, Hyuga Luo Ning, Ali and others, along with Xiao Ai, who was arrogant, and there were dozens of Kumogakure senior ninjas behind them, all of whom were close to Xiao Ai. Xiao Ai left them in Yihai village before. Orochimaru should arrive today, or tomorrow. Luhan whispered. Yeah, Tsunade responded with a nasal voice, knowing that Orochimaru was going to pick up Uchiha Makoto. After everyone got ashore, they rushed to Kumogakure village. The distance is not too far. The location of Kumogakure village in the Land of Thunder is close to the south coast. Hours later, noon. Everyone arrived at the south gate of Kumogakure village and was about to follow Xiaoai in. Huh, Lu Han suddenly exclaimed in surprise. Has Yuhi name? The insight map shows that at this moment there is a Yuhi name in Kumogakure village that does not show the strength level, White Zetsu. Chapter 0956 The Ant of Kumogakure Village. Deep in the village of Kumogakure, open-air combat arena. Wearing a strong suit with red hair, Yuhi stood proudly in the middle of the martial arts arena. There were about 24 Kumogakure ninjas lying on the ground with bruised noses and swollen faces. You guys, 10 are lazy, and you practice hard, huh? They're all idiots. Yuhi sent the woman to scold the circle of people again, and began to be proud again, raised her chin and said, "It looks like there are a few if you are not convinced, come if you are not convinced." Quote. A group of big men all stood up gruntingly, with wry smiles on their faces. Not that they couldn't beat Kushina, but they didn't dare to kill him at all. This is Grandma. Whoever really hurts Kushina, no matter what, just stare at Raikage and get angry. They can't be provoked, and they can't hide. So bullying. On the edge of the martial arts arena, there are still several elderly ninjas with extraordinary bearing. Kumogakure Jonin, who was beaten, turned his head and cast a look of help at the ninjas. These ninjas didn't look like they had seen them, they still laughed and communicated in a low voice, commenting on the previous discussions. They are all the top powerhouses in Kumogakure village, the weakest can beat Kushina, the strongest can beat Kushina with one hand. Kushina is also, bullying the soft and afraid of the hard, and dare not provoke them. They are so thankful that they can't afford to be entangled with this ant. Look at your cowardice, I'm hungry, let's go eat first. Kushina glanced around, and after humming, she walked away triumphantly, waiting for her to walk down the stairs of the martial arts arena. There was a commotion in the arena. Bullying. If she wasn't a woman, I would have beaten her up already. Don't talk too much, we're about the same time together. You alone can only be beaten. I'll beat her sooner or later. It's over, this witch has to find us tomorrow, what should I do? Come on, let's practice and practice combined strikes. I don't believe it. We, a group of people, always lose to her. Kumogakure ninjas who were beaten before in the martial arts arena can be described as enthusiastic, and their enthusiasm for training and learning is also unprecedentedly high. Kushina, who was walking down the stairs, listened carefully, the smug smile on her face disappeared, and a knowing smile appeared. Shame incentive method, succeeded. Immediately afterwards, her face collapsed, and she muttered angrily, "Bastard Xiaoai. I won't give me a commission for my hard work, and if I don't give it, I'll have to demolish your house." Kushina is not that kind of arrogant person. Although he is a little more playful, he knows how to behave. She has nothing to do with finding faults with a group of Kumogakure ninjas who are much weaker than her. This is the task that Xiaoai gave her. The male ninjas in Kumogakure village all have some big ideas. If they lose to the male ninjas, they can still drink with their backs. If they lose to the female ninjas, they can't bear it anymore. Xiaoai hopes that Kushina can stimulate some Kumogakure ninjas who are not working hard enough to make them progress. Kushina has done a good job. She is idle anyway. In the past 2 months, she has at least inspired hundreds of ninjas in the Kumogakure village. And the reason why Xiaoai gave Kushina this task is because Kushina is so annoying. Always called Xiaoai little junior brother, always asked Xiaoai to be called senior sister, always instructed the management of Kumogakure village, Xiaoai is to divert Kushina's attention. Don't let her idle, it can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Going down the winding stairs, Kushina planned to go to a downtown restaurant for dinner, and by the way saw the unpleasant Kumogakure ninja beating. Just entering the downtown street, Kushina was about to say hello to a few ninjas she knew well, and suddenly became alert. Danger! From behind. Kushina squatted down quickly, and jumped out diagonally. The man turned around when he was in the air, and saw who the sneak attack was. In his early 20s, he is 1.9 meters tall. Although he has muscles, he is not very developed compared to other Kumogakure ninjas. He has 2 swords on his back, and his smile is very cheap. This person is called Igai, and he is from Kumogakure village. Jonin of the scout unit is a little genius, good at swordsmanship. Kushina beat him more than once. Oops, didn't hit. Igai smiled, winking at Kushina. Bastard, you are courting death. Kushina blew up directly, rushed towards Igai fiercely, and beat him. Oops, help, kill. Igai ran away. He was a scout and a ninja of taijutsu, so he ran very fast. If Kushina didn't enter the state, he couldn't catch up with her immediately. Igai made a circle and ran back to the downtown, running like crazy. Kushina's desperate chase. The downtown streets were suddenly full of chickens and dogs. Ha ha ha, look, Guy is going to be beaten. Guy is crazy, to mess with Kushina. You don't understand that, young man. Guy must have that kind of mind for Kushina. He's worthy too. Whether it's worthy or not depends on Kushina's thoughts. What if Kushina sees him? Haha, yes. Kumogakure ninjas who were dining in downtown restaurants saw the situation outside the window and laughed for a while, but didn't pay much attention to it. It was not the first time that Kushina chased a certain Kumogakure ninja all over the world. Murder. You stop, asshole. Help me. You're dead. The bustling market of Kumogakure village is the main street in the center of the village. It runs through the east and west of Kumogakure village. It is very long. Igai runs very fast, and does not go to the roof. The state, she still can't control it well enough. If she can't stop it, kills someone, or collapses a certain building, it will be bad. Although Kushina loves to make noises, she also knows how to behave. In this way, Kushina chased Igai across the entire street, getting closer and closer to the East Village entrance. Igai glanced back slightly, his eyes flashed, and he began to exaggerately shout, Kushina, don't be arrogant, don't you rely on the power of the 5 tails. Don't use it if you have the ability. You are a waste. Fuck, Kushina was really about to fry, her hair was about to stand up. At this time, a black-robed figure appeared beside Igai like a ghost, and a terrifying sword light suddenly erupted. Chapter 0957_3 kills. The Revenge of Reincarnation. The black-robed figure came very suddenly, and just as Igai was about to run out of the village, a terrifying sword light cut him off. Igai, who originally only had the strength of Jonin, reacted extremely quickly and performed exceptionally well. At the critical moment, his body shrank and disappeared. Hit the ground with a knife, the terrifying shock wave shattered the ground dozens of meters in a radius, and even the Kumogakure ninjas who were guarding both sides of the village entrance were affected, but the power was aimed at the ground, so they could all escape. Call. The disappeared Igai appeared again 30 meters away, already outside the village of Kumogakure. The man in black robes approached, another knife. Who? Damn. Stop. Everything happened too fast. Until then, there was a loud shouting around. The nearby Kumogakure ninja didn't care about Kushina chasing Igai, because it was slapstick. Kushina beat Igai at most, but now it's different. The black-robed man who suddenly appeared was going to kill. To kill Igai. Kumogakure ninjas who saw the situation nearby rushed to Igai's direction while drinking. There were more Kumogakure ninjas, who heard the roar here, and were rushing towards them. You stop. Kushina was stunned for a moment, and then shouted angrily, not to Igai, but to the black-robed man who was chasing Igai. For Kushina, Igai is a little friend who can fight, and there are many such little friends in Kumogakure village, and the black-robed man who wants to kill Igai is the enemy. Kushina burst into a terrifying air current, and her body was quickly enveloped in light. She is the 5-tailed Jinchuriki column force. She is beasting. Call. As soon as the figure with a strong back and strong breath suddenly appeared beside Kushina, the big hands of the Pufan gang pressed on Kushina's shoulder and said in a low voice, "Don't move." Kushina looked up quickly and was stunned. It's Raikage Xiaoai. Don't worry about it. Xiao Ai shouted again, glancing majestically around. Come back. The Kumogakure ninjas who wanted to support Yi Gai stopped, looked at Xiao Ai in confusion, and slowly returned to the Kumogakure village. Reikage told them not to save people. They would not suspect that there was something wrong with Reikage. Hey Gai. Who is that black robe ninja? More and more Kumogakure ninjas rushed to the entrance of the village, and among them, there was no lack of top powerhouses who had entered the cage level, but they were stopped by Xiao Ai. They were puzzled at first, but after thinking about it, they found the problem. This Yi Gai, something is wrong. When he was dodging the attack, he used a very strange telekinesis technique, which did not belong to Kumogakure village. Call. Another figure appeared on the battlefield outside the village. It was also wearing a black robe and was slightly shorter. When moving at a high speed, the black robe would wrap around the body of the black-robed man with the wind, so that people could see the figure. Is a woman. The two men in black robes were besieging and killing Yi Gai, but Yi Gai was about to run away and was hiding. Kushina's eyes widened. She naturally saw that Yi Gai might be someone else's disguise. She felt a little cold when she thought of this. Yi Gai just wanted to lead her out of Kumogakure village. If he was fake, he would lead him. What do you want to do when you go out by yourself and go to a place where no one is there? Whoa, whoa. Two people appeared out of nowhere in Kushina. One was tall and the other was short. The short one looked like a child, and there was a purple kitten crawling on its head. The taller one was about the same height as Kushina, and she was a woman. Kushina could smell the powder on the man. Kushina just glanced around and didn't pay much attention. Xiao Ai was standing behind her, so the two would definitely not be enemies. Boom boom. Yi Gai disappeared again. The two men in black robes smashed the ground frantically. The ground cracked inch by inch, and the soil and gravel splattered, and the Kumogakure village was also affected. Houses near the entrance to the village were also destroyed. Xiao Ai ordered everyone to step back and stay away. The entrance to the village is destroyed and can be rebuilt. This person, the teacher and the wife, want to kill him personally, so Xiao Ai naturally has to cooperate. Yi Gai flashes again. This time, the man in black robe who appeared first chased directly behind him, and the sword light was like thunder. Kai _ Dao Guang took an arm, and at the same time, the appearance of Yi Gai, who had broken his arm, changed, and he became a pure white person, White Zetsu. Damn it! White Zetsu yelled, full of grief. Fuck! It's him again. Met again. Why so unlucky? It's the white one. Why is it white? It's him. He kidnapped Tsunade 10 years ago and killed Han Guang. It's him. Kumogakure has identified White Zetsu's identity. Although this is a secret, the high-level officials of all forces know his existence. The death of Han Guang was too sensational, and all forces can't avoid investigation. Regarding the situation of Han Guang's death, a lot of information is available. It was passed down from Konoha. White Zetsu, who lost an arm, flashed left and right, and then confronted the female black-robed man, summoning 3 large leaves to defend, but the female black-robed man smashed the defense with a punch. Another black-robed man appeared behind him. Knife light vertical and horizontal. Kai, 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 Kai. In an instant, I don't know how many knives the man in black robe slashed. Each knife slashed through White Zetsu's body, and the golden light and Yuhi light that only 2 people could see clearly shone into the sky. White Zetsu's body froze in place, and the 2 men in black robes stopped. Bang bang. After pausing for a second, White Zetsu's body slumped down, as if a tower of Jinchuriki column had been drawn, and collapsed in place, turning into hundreds of pieces of minced meat, piled up together. Cut White Zetsu again. 3 kills. Ding! Congratulations to the subversive for killing the same hostile target 3 times in total and achieving the hidden achievement, Reincarnation. The reward has been distributed along with the dropped items. The elf's prompt sounded in Lu Han's ear. Lu Han was stunned for a moment before returning to normal, and with a